going in round.
Where
are we going? We're going around?
We are going in round.
Round, baby, right.
All right.
No?
Your eyes seem so buggy right now. It seems like you were just scared, Ryan.
Welcome to the LeafCast, a first-time reader show based on the epic fantasy series A Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and I'm currently wondering just how small that shaft is.
Man, I am Ryan's brother Dan, and I ran from you as hard as I could to shield my honor, and you followed me even here. The rings do not lie, and I can run no more. I will run no more.
Listen, it doesn't matter that it's a short spear. It only matters how you thrust it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think it's good.
Tom, introduce yourself, my man.
Can you not hear me?
Oh, we hear you.
We
Oh,
can.
there we go. Okay, did you hear what I said about my spear?
We did.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't hear you say your name or anything. So.
Oh, well, I'm Tom, and I'm here because I like puppets, and these guys are pretty fun. And Josh is okay, like his beanies. I'm here for the beanies mainly. It's mainly the beanies, yeah. It's definitely the beanies.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 97. 97! I know, we're almost centenarians? Centaurians?
That's a Roman thing.
We're alpha centenarians. Josh will know.
I don't know. I'm a cuck beta centenarian.
Oh, yeah. Spell that.
Yeah.
Is this what it looks like? Is this you?
Yep, just like that.
Is this you cucking?
It could be. Yeah.
That's how you do it.
It could very well be.
Okay, well, again, episode 97. We couldn't be happier that you've been following along. If you started from the beginning, if you haven't, go back. We have a playlist. Watching our first-time readers' opinions evolve has been a joy. And speaking of first-time readers, let's bring them in.
I'm getting on Discord. I'll be on, and I'll be back in a second. But because they dressed up so kindly, I need to.
Oh yeah, I forgot to go on Discord. I'm terrible. I'm such a bad person.
Oh, hey, good evening, KayK. Good evening, Josh.
Ooh, we have the blue hair today.
Hello, Ryan.
Are you okay? You're muted. Are we feeling? You must be feeling like a peacock ready to come in and strut around with all your good predictions coming true this show.
Oh my gosh. Yes, a little bit. Thank you. I was very happy to hear about this weird little threesome thing. My goodness.
All right, your mic is a little messed up. Are you coming out of that thing right there?
Hello.
That's better, thank you. All right, well, Brother Dan's getting ready to get on Discord. I will jump in there soon. If you are so willing, we are on live Discord if you want to see how the sausage is made. You cannot take film of this, like you can't film at a slaughterhouse. You cannot film the sausage being made, but you can come say hi.
But backstage, you might see some sausage.
Yes.
You're going to get us canceled, guys, if that's true.
Hey.
Oh no. This is okay. I'm on. I can't believe what I'm saying.
But
okay.
I didn't say it, but thank you. God damn it. Thank you, MaTsDaGgerX, for the donation. You're a wonderful man. You're a wonderful man.
Yeah.
We do have a bit of a weird echo going on.
Let's
It's
figure it out.
probably a YouTube's or
It might be me because of my little. I'm hot. Is that better?
Let me
you
see.
are pretty
Talk.
Hello.
Hello?
I think
Yeah,
that's
more echo.
I think
I think we still got one. Yeah, we still got one.
we got a live one.
We got a live one.
Okay.
I'm wearing headphones today, so it can't be me. Because
All right,
I'm
well-
smart.
Is there an echo in chat? Everyone help me out. Help us out. Okay.
Read first time in the 90s. Me too.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to remember when like the internet became a reality for me. It was on my BlackBerry phone, I think. I was like, like, oh, I'm on the internet, but it's a BlackBerry.
I was on AOL.
Yep. I remember having to use those AOL discs that came in the magazines.
Mm-hmm. It came free.
On my
And I'm like,
gateway
why am I
PC.
buying CDs when these things are fucking free?
You're
Yeah.
Didn't they just
ASL.
blanket? Like, didn't you get like you'd come home and you'd have that like little calendar from your local real estate agent, maybe a notepad with their face in the top left,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then an AOL CD. Like, what? Just give them one to everybody.
They're just flying out the windows.
And that's,
my
and that's when I
AOL stock is
invested
going-
early, and I've been riding that wave ever since.
Yeah. AOL, our stock is going great, Ryan. We put all of our Way of the Leaf money into AOL.
perfect.
And guys, to the moon.
Only better choice would have been MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah,
Hey,
Friendster.
What was the MySpace guy? The guy who like was
Tom?
your friend. Tom, yeah.
Yeah.
Tom is
Tom.
living in like in Fiji or something on his own island.
He didn't sell it for that much money, if I remember correctly.
He did.
Like, I think he sold it for like, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money, but like, I think he sold it for like less than $20 million.
Nothing
Huh.
compared to like Twitter or
Yeah.
How many white
Brian-
T-shirts could Tom buy with that, huh?
I'm trying not to be distracted, but you right now without eyelids is
Yeah.
you seem so much more aware. You seem like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
are,
I'm on-
like,
yeah.
actively participating. It's,
I'm on my meds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you seem good, man.
I'm on. Hey, let's go. I'm super in control. I'm
focused.
ready to go.
Your pupils are super dilated.
With my right hand, I'm playing three-dimensional chess. With my left hand, I'm puppeting.
We won't say what he's doing with his left hand.
Yeah.
If you want to see what I'm doing with the right hand on Discord, come to
It's against the law below the Mason-Dixon line. Speaking of below the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, speaking of geography,
Hey.
where are we in this chapter?
Yeah, chapter
Oh.
30, a wager. It's Rand.
this chapter.
Where are we?
So we're here. Why don't you zoom in on me over here? I'll show you.
Yeah.
I think you might be able to see my handy dandy laser pointer. Not really. You can't really see it.
Oh, I saw it on your face.
Yeah. Well,
see it
I
on the
mean,
map a
that's how he
little
wants.
Not really. Okay, so we're about right here. We're like in this area, right about here. Right here is Dragon Mount. See, it's like a little volcano, and
Uh-huh.
then right here is Karheim. There's like a little city right here, and then the Jangai Pass is right there, and then they are right about right there. And let's zoom in. I'll zoom in on it for you guys, so
Nice.
you can see it. Zooming in, boom, and then this is where they are. So they've traveled from Meridian over to Ironrod. Dun, da, da, dun, dun,
Yeah.
da, da. I need to animate this somehow. Put the little plane on it.
Yeah, put it like superimpose a plane just kind of flying by.
Yeah.
Old 20s bomber
Exactly.
plane.
So this is where we are right now.
The Jangai Pass is huge.
We might not stay here for too long. Yeah, it is pretty big. Again, I just want to real quick give a shout out to Rob Christensen, whose map we're using for the foreseeable future.
Yes, indeed. And look up his weekly wheel news. His wife does New Creations by Jen, as she is responsible for our merchandise. So anything you purchase from us, it benefits them. And they've been longtime contributors to this community. Rob is a gem. I mean, what he does is no one else.
He's a
No one else does this, man. He's a gem.
good boy.
He's a peach.
Rob Christensen. He's a good boy.
He's a good boy, that Rob Christensen.
Yeah.
So chapter 30 is called A Wager. It has a dragon icon, and it is Rand. It has Rand just kind of hanging by himself, looking at a river. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to look at the river. The river's...
He's like,
They-
ooh,
he-
water.
It mentions that his wards are surrounding the entire town, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's a big ward. I mean, he is the Dragon Reborn, the most powerful channeler on the planet. But like when you think about like the immensity of that, that's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing as in the first book, An Eye of the World, Moiraine says like the biggest one she can manage covers their like little encampment.
Yeah, that little like domed area there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rand's got the whole freaking town.
A whole town. It says specifically his wards are set surrounding the Aiel encampment and the town itself.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
actually, the Aiel encampment surrounded the town, which made it bigger. And then he surrounded all of that. That's just crazy. He's really powerful.
An extra perimeter.
Yeah.
And Sulin comes and talks to Rand. He's like, yeah. She's like, hey, yeah, we were all gambling as, wise ones do.
Of course.
And
in Mahjong.
It turns out every roll was a 6, and it was a drag. It was no fun. And Rand's like, I'm sorry about that.
They're old. They're old. They're playing like Baccarat or something.
This TAVERN shit is, again, it's like the loaves it's like Jesus catching all the fish. Did he mean to, or did the fish just come to him? It was like the TAVERN-ness is a weird dynamic, and it affects. I mean, so they couldn't even gamble anymore. It wasn't even fun because chance had gone away.
Couldn't that have been
just
Matt
being around him
and not Rand?
It's been both of them.
I think it's more likely it was Matt and not Rand, and that he doesn't really know. But
well, since both of them are there, I'm sure it's even more crazy.
That's really funny. Okay, Josh, I like that idea. So Rand just like assuming, like the hubris. Okay, it's got to be me.
It's got to be me. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, Kay, were you thinking? Kay, were you thinking Matt when they're talking about rolling all 6s and gambling and all that?
No, I was actually.
Okay.
That does feel like that is actually what I was thinking as well. It's not. I didn't think Rand. I didn't think Matt, just because it makes sense, right? It's the dice. But Rand's TAVERN is crazy strong.
Is that?
I'm gonna come in and help you with your mic.
Yeah.
I think it might just be selected on the wrong mic. I think it's using a different mic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because when she got closer to that one, it didn't get any louder.
Right.
But anyway, technical difficulties.
But we do see TAVERN-ness all over the fucking place. One guy trips over a stone and breaks his neck. Another guy, let me.
Because it wasn't. I wasn't.
Another rare behind the scenes.
Yeah, let me remove. The two Aiels that hate each other did a water oath where apparently they feed each other water.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. They did the whole like champagne glass thing where they like put their arms around
one another.
Yeah, except they gave each other the drink
instead of cake at a wedding. It was water.
Yep, exactly. I kind of want to see two big ass grizzled Aiel clan chiefs do that. That would be awesome.
I don't want to do this, but it's TAVERN. And then we get a couple of Kyrian lords. We get Adorian, Estrian, and what is it, Dasamar or something?
Yeah, something.
Another one.
What voice did you just do, Dan? What was that old country voice you like to do?
That was my Aiel voice.
I thought Brother Donatello was coming back for a second.
I don't. Brother Donatello may make an appearance.
I love it.
And we hear from them that Kyrian is a flame. The Aiel have come. They're like, yeah, we're looking for. Is someone Dawn? Is your name Dawn?
Something about Dawn.
I'm looking for Karkon Dawn. Dawn Karkon, is that his name? And he's like, yeah, that's me.
I like. There's another little tidbit here. So the Karhainen have Khan on, I don't know if you guys saw that. So he had asked for introductions to the Karhanian, gave them themselves Lieutenant Lord Marison of House Daggerand or Daggerend. His con was all wavy vertical lines of white and red. So the house guards were wearing this on their back, and so were the lords, like samurai, like Japanese samurai used to, like basically a little banner on a stick that was mounted, that was attached to their back. So that was just like a little thing, like this is a European, more like French, English type town or peoples, and they have a little Japanese culture thrown in there, little dash.
Way to spell that out, Tom. I was trying to picture it. I remember reading it, and I just couldn't actually really picture it. But then you really put it towards. Sinan is asking what we are drinking, and whenever Sinan asks, we answer. I'm drinking an IPA with Clamato and some spices and peppers.
Ooh. It's a weird combo. It's my hangover combo, but it's working for him. And I'm having kombucha.
Nice. I'm having mead.
Very on point there, Tom.
And Josh, did we lose? Everything's happening all at once.
Gone. I can go back to the thing. Okay, so they introduced themselves. They talked about how Karhine was to the flame, and Kulden is killing people, and they were surprised they were able to make it out. Then we get to they burnt down the foregate. So if you guys remember, the foregate was where Tom was when they found him again. It was like the wooden ramshackle city that's just outside of Karhine.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that whole thing burnt down.
I didn't realize that was the same place.
Yep, that's foregate. Yeah, it says the foregate burned for 7 days.
That's sad.
You can just countless loss of life. Like how?
I did not put that together.
I can only imagine
that it was the same place. Oh.
These are the things that I remember. I can't remember, appointments. I can't remember.
Anniversaries
to work or anything, but real time. I got you.
Gotcha.
I don't even try. It just stays in there because this is how this works.
Right.
So they talk. They talk about going to send scouts, and the Karhine, obviously they doubt the Aiel's speed, that they won't be able to get there in time because they don't have horses. Which is little do they know that they're probably gonna beat them there. To be honest, like the Aiel will probably beat them there.
It's good to see Bryant in Discord. What's up?
Woohoo!
Crazy.
Oh, it's so good to see him.
Handsomest man in Wheel of Time.
He's so okay, I'm not going to say that. He's very attractive, though. It's a good-looking kiddo.
Dan lost power.
Oh. I hope
he says he'll be back soon.
Yay! All right, well, that's good. I hope it's not like a crazy storm or something like it was last time. That would suck. He's pretty. It just, you know what it was? The power grid just can't take how awesome he is, and here that brother Donatello was coming back, and then that was just it.
It just blew a fuse.
It just blew up.
It blew all the fuses.
Yep.
Blew them all to smithereens.
So the Karhinen head back. They send out some Aiel Thunderwalkers. Ruhark suggests Shah Ahmad Kandi, and that's pretty much all.
I thought Rand actually recommended it, and then he agreed with the
Aiel name. Yep, you are right. I reversed those. So not only is it ADHD, it's also dyslexia.
Hey, what?
Nice. But I love that little exchange, kind of two powerhouses.
Yeah,
it was very quick.
Young nobles, also from Karhine. This is the first time we're meeting these two particular ones. And a Tyrion. Right. I did think for a second that the Tyrion might have been one of the ones that was with Matt, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you can that you want to pick out about this chapter?
I have nothing else highlighted. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Josh. I was bored with this. I want to get on to the next one.
I bet.
Just the Viper pit that sprung up, where the Vipers only bit cloth.
Yeah.
And Rand kind of taking responsibility for that, and then someone falling and breaking their neck on flat ground, which he also seems to want to take responsibility for.
Yeah.
So we're just seeing a trend that we've already seen throughout the books of him perhaps overstating his responsibility for the things that go on around him.
Oh yeah. Well, it's something bad happening, so
right.
He's got to put his emo flip forward. I gotta get a wig for that.
Oh my gosh, you so have to do that. So have to do that. I'm gonna turn my mic down. I feel like it's too hot now.
No, you're good.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Sounds great. Josh and Kay, do you think there's gonna So what are the implications of this? Is this what does this say about Rand, and what do you think that it's going to be like for him in the future if he keeps that up?
If he keeps on taking responsibility for everything that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Pretty devastating. I mean, is this like him just kind of losing his shit a little bit, like with all of the power, and is this the beginning of him kind of doing that? Or, well, I mean, not the beginning, because we've seen that before in this book already, but kind of something similar, or is it just him thinking that he's going crazy because he's expecting to that's cool. Oh my gosh, Brother Dan!
Is he losing his humanity, or is it the taint affecting him? What do you think?
I think it is a byproduct of the weight of the burden that he's taken on himself.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like that.
I think that he's having an inner kind of quarrel with it, and he's struggling to know to have insight and to know if he's going crazy or not.
Well, I imagine it's hard to delineate where you're responsible. Here you are, taking on these roles as the Karakar and as the Dragon Reborn. How do you then delineate internally where the lines of responsibility fall? And the TAVERN, right? How do you delineate where those lines of responsibility fall in the locus around you? And I imagine better to err on the side of caution, which I guess he kind of is, but it also looks a little bit like being full of himself.
Well, it's also a little bit self-deprecating, at this point, because he's just continuously if you're just taking fault for everything that goes wrong around you, and these are big things, these aren't little things, right? So these are I can relate to that in some ways, right? So that's just something that I'm relating to, and fuck, if I'm Rand, I am hating my life right now.
But think about it.
I'm taking responsibility for these things, and I'm really hating shit. This is gonna feel really heavy and really negative, and I think he's doing that plus other things. I think he might be going crazy also a little bit, but I think there's anyway.
Was he born in South Detroit?
It's just a small town boy.
By the way, living in Detroit, there is no South Detroit. If you go south of Detroit, you're in Windsor, Ontario. There's no South Detroit.
There's no gangs claiming South Detroit?
No, there's no South Side. It's dumb.
So, one way to look at Rand, maybe this is necessary. I mean, this is a second thought coming through, but maybe this is necessary for him to feel this way. If you were going to be burdened with the destiny of humanity as the thing of which your quest's end goal is, maybe it's necessary to begin taking on these smaller burdens and acclimatizing, or I guess that's the word, acclimatizing yourself to the type of mourn and loss and existential dread that come along with that.
We have So we have existential, climatizing, locus, and delineate so far. This is
Love
your thesaurus today.
Oh my god! Seriously,
This is just how my brain works.
Wow,
And
that's
Beautiful brain.
humble brag.
In this chapter, he learns about taxes as well.
Yeah.
Right.
He's like, "Oh shit, I don't know what to do with this stuff."
Oh, right. Is this the chapter where he learns that he gets 10% of the fifth?
Yeah.
Right.
And he blames it.
Apparently.
He blames it on not knowing what taxes are, but really he just doesn't know the math. He like 1% carries a one.
I also I missed one of my pink highlights in this chapter, and that's my fault. So I use pink for drinking obligations.
Okay, well, share with us, Tom.
It was when the Karhinian showed up. They had half a dozen men at the rear.
Ooh. All right.
Drink. I love
Sounds
it.
like a good
I
time.
mean, I don't find that sexual, but
Oh, I do. Drink,
I think it's
bitches.
rad.
Yeah.
Well, you just need to think
Ba-dum,
more
boom.
creatively.
no,
Tom,
I know. I'm
I
really
actually-
constricted.
I also have a drinking obligation that
It's
I underlined.
impactful.
It's not all sexual innuendo. There are other rules to this, and one of them is if this Ranlam proves that they couldn't play poker with you at all, right? And so here, Estrene's eyes nearly popped out of his face. Dorian looked as surprised for a moment, then nodded slowly as if he suddenly saw how it made sense. I want to play poker with these guys. I want them to look in their hands and just be all, what? What? Ooh, ow, God.
Oh, yeah,
So-
the eyeballs popping out.
Yeah, whenever they can't keep a good poker face about
Oh,
anything.
man. We
That's a
did
big
text
one.
about this
His
earlier.
eyes
We're like,
nearly
oh,
popped out of his head.
this is gonna get.
Yeah,
what was the word you used?
Saucy? I don't
Sus?
remember.
Pickled.
Pickled. Yeah. Pickled. Definitely being.
Yeah.
It was not an S at all. Sorry.
How dry we
CNN, by the
are.
way, where have you been? You. It's good to see you, but boy, I've missed you. I've been throwing darts everywhere and I haven't hit you once. I've missed you.
We got a bullseye tonight.
Yeah, and here you are. It's good to see you.
Also, CNN, we sell shot glasses.
And they have a gold rim.
Oh, drink.
Oh, that is drink. Yeah.
The Kyrian think that Rand sent the Shido.
Well, yeah, they have no idea. An Aiel is an Aiel to them. They probably don't even know what clans are, half of them.
Right. And so Rand is surrounded by bloodthirsty savages, more or less. I mean, in the Kyrian's eyes,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you are he who comes with the dawn? What the fuck? I thought you were here to help, but you're bringing all these Aiel, and your precursor a week ago has just like gone nutso.
Yep. It's like the Aiel war all over again.
I'd be scared as shit as well. I would not want to trust Rand with an army of Aiel people that are like, well, yeah, we take 1/5 of everything you got as we walk by.
You are badass though. They're pretty cool. I like.
But the last time that anyone in this world saw them, they caused a war. That's where Tam Althor was during this war with the Aiel. The last time they crossed the spine. Here they come.
Yeah, but they didn't view it. They didn't view it as a war.
Yeah, they
viewed
did.
it as
The Aiel
retribution.
did not, but the Westerlands did.
They viewed
Also,
it as
it
were
wasn't
wrong.
even hard.
They
It
were
wasn't
wrong.
even hard
Yeah.
for them.
Wait, wasn't the phrase it was an assassination?
Yeah,
Yeah.
retribution. Yeah.
But
Assassination.
they still refer to it in Ilion and in Andor.
I know they call it the
as
Aiel War. I'm just
Aiel
saying
War.
that
Yeah.
they're yet another piece of misinformation about the Aiel. If the Aiel
I
had
know.
gone there to war against them, they would have fucking won, and
I
a
know.
lot
Oh,
more
yeah.
people would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
died. So it's just they don't even have a concept of what that would look like.
Yeah, like when we invade Iraq and they're
I
like,
was
oh,
gonna
it's the
say-
American war. We're like, no, it's Operation Desert Storm. It's Operation Enduring Freedom.
The only difference there is that if the IEO wanted to, they could roll over the Westlands with little to no effort and take minimal losses if they came with all of the clans.
All of them.
Right. And the precursor having the Shido in front really doesn't bode very well for Rand because he has all these other IEO with him, and what's the difference, right?
Right. The only other thing that was interesting in this chapter, I thought, was the paragraph about where he's thinking about Min and Elaine, and just kind of like the differences between, like, we just got Min's thoughts about Rand, and now we're getting Rand's thoughts about Min, and it's just how out of sync.
30? Are we in 31?
Yeah, no, 30.
No, we're still
Okay.
30.
Okay,
This chapter on my page 455.
I was very excited about it.
It's the second to the last page of the chapter. There's this paragraph that starts with Elaine would have known that what taxes were used for.
Thank you. Thanks, Josh.
That's when Sulin says, "Hey, you want to bet 1,000 gold marks? Make it 10,000, bitch." And they're like, "All right, fine, ha 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 ha." And Rand's like, "What are you doing?" And she's
I don't have
like, "Don't worry about
10,000.
it. You're super rich. You have all kinds of money."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't know any of this stuff. Elaine would know this stuff." Well, because she was raised with I'm sure a bursar. She knew the county bursar's name or whatever, the country, the treasury department. She knew all that shit. It was her mom probably took baths in coins.
Yeah. Morghese had things, had resources.
Yes.
Morghese had resources.
I also really enjoy how Sulin, like IEO in general, are very boastful in some ways, where Sulin is just like, you know, what did she say? They wager 1,000 gold crowns, and he says he has it, Tyrion. He'll meet your wager if you make it 10,000 by weight. Like that will make it there in 7 days. Like I love it. I just love it.
They're like challenge accepted. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. We got this.
We're going.
That was kind of weird that was all underneath Rand, though. Like, I was surprised that kind of happened. Like, with Rand right there, it just seemed like insubordinate in ways. And he's like...
No, Sulin's like, "I got you. You don't even do it. I got you, Rand."
In a way, I think...
get there in a week.
I think she's like defending her honor, or the maidens, or the Aiel's honor.
She's
Like,
like,
we can beat these soft wetlanders.
I do think that they were like, I do think that that's like kind of the direction they were going. Like they're trying to display their power to Rand, like what they have thought, at least. I think what they've thought up to this point that they could, and so I just had like this feeling that was what they're doing, right? Like they're trying to empower him by giving that their like already established kind of power over the other
Fair.
set of.
I can see that. Yeah.
Anyways, or maybe it's just the TAVERN poll. I don't fucking know.
There's always that.
Maybe they're just like influenced because like there's a pull to do whatever Rand needs. So if we're so close to Rand in proximity, maybe it's just like the pull of TAVERN-ness and like what needs to happen to leave the shit is just there, close. And, yes, it's ripe for the taking, if you will. Can we get to chapter 31, please?
No, I love that. Hey, Dragon Snacks, nice. Welcome.
Dragon Snacks.
He actually says that too, doesn't he?
I know.
Dragon.
Worst bet ever for Eldorian, because if you don't make it in time, he wins. He won't survive to collect.
And that's what he says, in fact.
Yeah.
Didn't they? And also, didn't we get a mention that 2 Aiel clans, or a couple of them, where they did like an oath of peace, and they felt like they didn't even know what they were doing, or they looked like they didn't know what they were doing while they were doing it. They couldn't believe it themselves, I guess is how he phrased it.
Oh,
I don't remember
the
that.
water
Right,
oath?
they-
Yeah, the
Water
water oath. This is when
Yeah,
Rand's
yeah.
talking about the
You might have
TAVERN
dropped
earlier.
out when
Oh,
we already talked about that.
Yeah,
but
yes, we did talk about that. Yeah,
All right. Well, I just felt okay. Yeah. Well, it's
you might not have been here when we did.
it's
It
okay. We were imagining because they like feed each other water, so we like with their arms intertwined. So we were imagining like people feeding each other cake at weddings and stuff.
Like
I
that.
already
Can
love
we
this person.
just real fast? Can we
Yeah.
just reiterate that here? Quote: "We should send scouts running. They can reach Kyrian as soon as those men on horses and meet us coming back with word of how Couladin had disposed the Shido." And Rand's like, Thunderwalkers. So they have a clan of people or a group, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but who can
Side.
their Thunderwalkers means they run real fast
I think
and
so.
don't get
Yeah.
tired.
No, wait.
Also, they
Okay.
can run. They can run as fast as horses. Like let's just absorb that for a moment. That they can keep up with horses.
It's not. It's. I don't know if it's as fast or it's because they can traverse ground better and run longer. I think it's also.
Yeah. Either way, in a long distance journey, they said they would beat the freaking horses, whether or not they're like walking briskly the entire time and
That's
whatever.
crazy, guys. That's
Yeah.
like magic. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We said so. It's not thunder thighs. It's thunder.
What? They definitely got some
Thunderwalker.
thunder size.
Thunder
They definitely got
walker.
thunder
Ryan,
size.
how
No.
dare you?
They
No,
have
imagine
well-turned-
like they all have thunder thighs, but they're just like super thick.
well-turned
I'm
thighs,
imagining
not
they
the
will
well-turned
Well-turned
calves.
thighs.
Super thin.
Well-turned thighs. That's amazing.
Nice.
All right, and let's go back to our new friend Dragon Snacks. I'm just picturing someone with the
Good
biggest, like a 5-pound bag of like Fritos, and they're just like dragging it behind them slowly.
Snacks. It's like a Santa bag full of snacks.
Yeah, right. Like,
Yeah, Skeeter.
Skeeter's got
Yeah,
it.
it is. Yeah, for them to go the same mileage, if not further, than a horse can run
Yeah.
in a full day. So I think the way that Detroit is set up is they have their train stops every 20 miles or so, and I think like the California missions did the same thing, where it was the distance that you could travel in a day, more or less. They had a mission set up so you could stay there. And the train things with the horses were the same, and I think it was like every 20 to 30 miles away from Detroit there was a train stop per se that was for horses, more a horse rest kind of thing.
uh-huh.
No.
So that's saying that
No,
the
it's
IEO,
behind me and showing.
so the
Sorry.
IEO could run 30 miles in a
Yeah,
day and
so-
then just get up, fucking run another 30
They're
miles in a
very
day.
flesh colored.
Yeah, that's just awesome.
All right, real quick. This is for everyone here. Strides like a gazelle. I'm wondering if let's give me an animal and give me an action, brother Dan. If you're running, how would you describe yourself?
Ooh, I would describe myself as a lumbering baby giraffe.
Lumbering. Okay, I'd be loping like a wallaby.
I like that one. Have you ever seen when ostriches like do that thing where like they get on the ground, they're like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
You mean
ever see
mate?
that? No, like it's like the male mating call. Like they crouch on the ground and then their neck gets all big and they go.
Okay.
That's how I run.
I'm more. Yeah, I'm curious
just
about
lay on
your
the floor
searches.
and-
Yeah,
I
yeah.
lay on the floor and
I
flail
want
around.
to see your black searches. Wait, what is
Yeah,
that?
how do you run? How would you
Not
describe
black
it?
history,
Listen,
black-
if I'm running, it's
What?
because I'm running from something.
Okay, yeah.
That's what we used to see joggers and be like, "Who you running from? Are there wolves?"
So like a rabbit, I guess I would run like a rabbit because they don't have prey. So they just run for. If you see a rabbit dashing away, it's because they're scared of something. That's,
Because it's good. I dig it.
if I'm running, you should start running.
Josh, what is your animal?
I would be wobbling like a pregnant elephant. Good job.
All right.
Skeeter would mosey like a sloth. Very. There we go. Sloth
it.
is my spirit animal.
I don't even know if it's sloth mosies.
Oh man,
sloth
they're the they're no
Hey,
moth are the king of mosies.
Are they the Mosey King?
I think
Mosiers.
I think they should just be called Mosey. Like if you instead of sloth, they should be like, oh, there's a Mosey in the tree.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
sloth.
Mosey isn't one of the 7 deadly sins.
No, hey, I've seen Josh run, and it's
Thanks, Josh.
it's Josh. What animal do you run like?
You've seen Josh run?
Josh run fast.
See Josh run.
Honey
You
badger.
always do that. Always.
Oh, okay. You're a honey badger.
What animal would
Yeah.
you describe your running as?
You ever hear like a
honey badger.
A honey
Damn,
badger.
son? Honey badger is
Mean.
crazy.
They be fucking nuts.
Yeah. That's how Josh.
More violent bursts. Is that what you're saying?
That's how Josh seeks the truth, like a honey badger seeks its prey.
Kay, how do you run? What was your animal?
Animal? No.
Yeah.
If you're
Just
running,
I
If
want
you're
to
running
run
with
like
an
the
animal.
Aiel. I don't.
Okay,
Okay, she runs like the IL. She can run
support
30
that.
miles and just get up and run it.
That's what I do. That's how I run. What? Can I
But
say?
what?
I'm
What?
Yeah,
not
yeah.
sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Not
What?
sorry.
You don't
Hey,
understand what?
you're like, what? Hey, I run hot. I run hot.
I run like a low paw. Kind of like a low paw. I look like a low paw.
How do you run? Like a pimp.
Like a pimp.
Pimps don't run. Hoes run.
I'll strut.
like Trump runs for president.
Yeah, I mean, it's indeterminate when I
Yeah.
will run.
I just do. And I do again.
So
And
far,
then
I
I do for
haven't.
no reason, and then I do you all upside down, backwards,
Nice.
sideways. And
Yeah, keep going.
flip you over and do it again.
Do it.
Ooh, America. Ooh. Okay, anyways.
Doing it and doing it and doing it right.
Sorry.
Hey, Trump truly slapped it up, flipped it, and rubbed it down.
Oh, no!
Yeah,
He said, "America."
you rubbed it
Oh
up real good there. Okay.
Sorry, excuse me.
Take
Don't
a
watch this
look
show
at
if you
me.
can't do this with us.
Tell me, do you like?
no! Hey, now that we're getting into politics, Tom, didn't you wanted to talk about something that was near and dear to your heart?
Well, I did write it down and then completely forgot it because I was staring at the book. Wow, I'm a horrible human. Yeah, I wanted to just I've been following and like I'm sure many people have the stuff that's going on in Puerto Rico right now, major flooding. Lots of people.
They saw it happening. They saw it was coming, and still, about 80% of the population are still without power.
Yep, there are well over 1 million people. So there's I'm gonna send a link to the guys here. If anyone can, send donate to if you have the money to donate, send donations. The link we're gonna send is to NPR, and then they have links to a bunch of charities that give different things to.
Yeah, I'm really I really support the National Puppet Radio.
National Public Radio.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Obviously, we
This is American
support
Life.
that.
Act 1.
National Puppet Radio is something different. That was like during.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! It took
Josh,
me.
fact.
Hey,
I
wait,
took
hey,
me-
I was doing my hourglass.
was that the radio station the CIA implanted in Grenada?
Chloe.
It took me until just when I shouted to realize that when you said National Puppet Radio, you were saying that because NPR.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking it was more of like a Tito's
No. It's amazing.
Yugoslavia, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad there right now. So if anyone can, just send donations.
This is we are responsible. We are legally, morally, and ethically responple for the care.
Yeah. Oh, wait,
Puerto
we're the
Rican.
protector, right?
They
Help
are
our fellow
considered American
Americans.
citizens. They are a part of America.
Yep.
And we do not nearly give them. I mean, if this was a state, we would be ashamed. And by the way, Puerto Rico still doesn't have any voting rights, doesn't have any say in Senate or House legislation,
Yeah.
and yet they it is. Anyways,
No, yeah. It's not the common.
I could
Yeah.
go on and on.
Thank you.
As
oh
well.
yeah. Let's help out if you're feeling so inclined. Please,
Yeah, and you can.
they could use it. I was out without power for like 2.5 days. My power just flickered. It sucked. I have a storm outside, but it's not a tropical storm and it's not a hurricane. Yeah, these people struggle each and fucking every time it happens. It's not their fault. It's geographical, and we should try to help if they need.
Exactly.
Well, 5 years ago, they were out of power for a whole year.
In Florida, we see
Right. Hurricane Maria came through, and it was like months and months and months, and they still don't have
Literally
power.
12 months they didn't have power for.
They're still
That's
rebuilding
gross.
a lot from that. Too. It's terrible.
That's gross.
Didn't
All right.
Trump want to trade Puerto Rico for Greenland?
Was it? I thought. Yeah, it was something like that. He's ridiculous. He wanted to buy Greenland. I forgot what he wanted.
Didn't even know it was part of. He's like, why do we want to take care of them? And they're like, well, it's part of America.
It's a colony.
Like, what?
We can.
Anyway, no, we'll get away from. Come on.
I mean, I can. Yeah. All right.
The
Just
farce
talking
knows.
about the things he doesn't know. But yeah. Anyway, so the farce though. There's some spears and a buckler there. I imagine the IEO fight kind of almost like fencing style with those things.
Where's the?
Oh, I think they're just stabby stab.
Yeah.
Working
well,
on
I
it.
mean, the Robert Jordan did say that the Aiel's fighting, like the way they fight and the weapons they use, is modeled after the Zulu Nation.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's who
okay,
uses
so-
the spear bucklers. Yeah.
Hold it up and jab.
No, they use like a stick thing to throw the spear. Like it creates an extension of their arm,
Yeah.
so they're able to get much faster throws than you would be able to with a
Fulcrum.
normal human arm.
No, wow.
They add a fulcrum.
Hey,
Crazy.
what'd you just say to me?
Who are you calling a fulcrum?
Hey, fulcrum of you.
Fulcrum,
I
you.
don't know what that means.
Hey,
but I'm gonna take it as an
in
insult.
case that I say I was meaning to tell you, we could all see your fulcrum.
Giggity. Okay, so they were in the streets of Ironrod in the beginning. He's talking about how it's set up like a grid, I guess, like a little bit, like kind of like Manhattan. The streets are all straight lines. They meet at right angles. That's pretty interesting. Slate roofs. Everyone has slate roofs.
Yeah, slate
I
roofs.
appreciate a right angle.
Bran Alvier would not be top of the food chain in this time.
He wouldn't be special at all.
Nothing really too much happens. He kind of marches through the town, being sad about the town being broken, blaming it on himself again, and finds the only building in town that is put together, and declares it the roof of the Wine Spring Brothers, and no one can enter who had not drunk from the Wine Spring Inn in Emmonsfield.
So that's like him and Matt and
Moraine and Lan.
Yeah, Moraine and Lan, I guess. Did they? I don't know. Did they?
Yeah.
They were only
Yeah.
there for like 3 days.
I mean, they had their dinner. They had at least 2 meals in the inn before winter night.
The roof of the Wine Spring.
But wasn't he hoping she didn't come though? And he's like, oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I don't think he thought of that.
She always hopes that.
All right, so how hard? All right, Josh and Kay, how hard did the IEL roll their eyes when he said that bullshit?
Yeah. They're like,
Ugh.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Rand. All right.
Yeah, you got your own crew, man.
Got your little people.
You and your 2
little
friends, sure.
stuff and your little rituals. Good job.
and
Guess
then
what? Amanda didn't hear the news,
Yep,
and she was in his fucking room.
she was already
naked.
there.
She was fucking naked, guys.
Well, actually,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Hold on. She was hard muscle and soft curves. She defeat.
Sorry.
Okay.
I thought there's no sound on that. Then keep going.
This is my favorite. Oh my gosh,
What's
this is
it?
my favorite. Keep
All
going, Thomas, you're good. Can we get
Yeah, she glistened damply from the heat. Yeah, that's.
He never imagined her legs were so long.
No, he didn't. But they
So
are.
she says, I did not arrange for you to see me. I must go away from you. As far as I can, I must.
He's like, those legs go all the way up.
Yeah, from her ass all the way down to the ground.
I'm happy right
Her
now.
legs do that.
Good stuff.
They started the perineum, and they go down to the heel.
You're right.
I'm just defining a leg.
Is Neum a character in
That
the
is a
book? I'm
leg.
sorry.
Perineum.
Perineum, yes.
Perineum.
Yeah, but it's tainted.
Yeah.
So what do you? Then the very next thing that we see, and this is for Josh and Kay, see what you guys think.
Yep.
Immediately, so I'll read the part to you guys. Immediately, the gateway began to oh wait, I'm sorry. Suddenly, a shimmering vertical line appeared in the air. It widened as if rotating into a gateway. An icy wind rushed through into the room, carrying thick curtains of snow. And he did not know what he had. Then as he saw it closing, he stopped it from closing, and he was sure that this was a gateway for traveling, such as Asmodean told him he had not been able to teach him. So, what do you guys think of this? Like this is a new weave. This is the first time we're seeing this weave.
Yeah, this was weird to me. I mean, because they're going from like extreme weather to the other.
Which we'll get into in a minute once we find out where they are.
But yeah, that was it was also like super weird that she also didn't know what the fuck she did. She just panicked so hard.
Yeah.
That she broke open something I don't think she necessarily knew. It didn't feel like she knew what she was doing because of how she ended up, right? Like it has to be saved by ransom.
She doesn't know.
Weird.
She doesn't know the properties of a gateway. She doesn't know how to cast it. She's never seen it cast before, but somehow she pulled this weave from nowhere. It's kind of crazy. Maybe she's a TAVERN?
Strong ass women.
Oh,
Avienda, Elaine, Min, all very different reasons, and this is going to, I think, make him like a very complete, more of a complete TAVERN situation. Like that's, anyways, that thought just came to me.
What do you mean by that, Kay? I want to understand.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that it's just like more of like they all have different things they're super powerful at, right? They're all different from different places and different cultures and have different specific powers. Like Nynaeve is Avienda is like crazy strong and from the Aiel world, which offers its benefits. And then Elaine she's like a fucking princess. Right, because there's Queen Morgan.
Yeah.
So she is a princess, and she has this kingdom that she's like in. She's going to be throned of, or I don't know how you say that, but ascended to the throne. Is that saying?
Yeah.
Okay, close-ish. Anyways, and then we got Min with these capabilities that can just predict shit. And sees all of these prophecies. So I feel like that is a very perfect combination to help.
I see. You're saying as a team that they synergize as a team.
Yes, and I think that the TAVERNness has like pulled those specific three women in. As I like evaluated this more, I think that's just.
I like it.
That makes sense to me.
And by evaluated more, I mean in the last 30 seconds.
While you're talking. Oh, yeah, no. So you're basically, when they're Team Voltron.
Oh,
is that what you're saying? Like when they can Voltron together and then create a super...
Voltron. Sure. I have no idea what that reference means. But that sounds about powerful enough. Sure. Voltron? I don't know what Voltron means.
Okay. It's an old cartoon.
It's an old cartoon.
Okay.
Well, it says here, Rand did not know what she had done or how, but he was sure that this was a gateway for traveling, such as Asmodean had told him of and been unable to teach him. There was no time for thinking. Wherever Avienda had gone, she had gone naked into the heart of a winter storm.
Giggity.
So, the thing that this made me think about was... So, are Aiel channelers just like a level above? I mean, the only Aiel channelers that we've met, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm overstating that, but the only ones that we have been really exposed to their abilities are Rand and now Avienda, and both of them can pull shit that like no one else can.
I don't remember if they at this point have referenced.
Can't the wise ones kind of channel or no?
Yes,
A bunch of them
there's
can,
a couple
but
that can,
not all
yes.
of them.
Yeah,
Right,
some of the wise men
the wise
can,
ones
but
can?
yeah,
So-
but most of them, it sounded like they were not as strong as an Aes Sedai, was my impression. But now that we've seen these abilities demonstrated, it's like, wow, okay, like
It seems like when they do channel, they're like super strong. Maybe they've been like repressed or something for like years. I don't know. Like maybe they're like trapped in their own bodies with this power or some shit. Like when
Do you think strength has anything to do with the weave
Physical
though?
strength?
Like, well, no, strength in the one power has
Oh.
anything to do with the weave that she made.
well, I mean, I'm just thinking back about like how Elaine and Nynaeve and Egwene described, like once they saw something executed once, they could do it themselves. But here we see Avienda doing something she's never been taught, and doing it kind of like Nynaeve, in a moment not of anger, but in a moment of distress.
And who else has done that? Other, I guess Nynaeve, but
Good question.
Nynaeve,
who else does that often?
Rand.
Rand, yep.
So we've seen that Tel'aran'rhiod has this component of need. Do you see any connection here with channeling that what Avienda does and what Tel'aran'rhiod provides?
Wait. Well, I'm sorry. What, can you rephrase?
Like taking them to the place where they need
Yeah,
to be.
because she's like, I need to get far away, and then boom, she's far away.
Oh.
I must get away from
The-
here as far
Yes.
away as I can.
The thought that I just had was, so we know that channeling is dangerous, obviously, and experimenting with weaves that you don't know what they do is super dangerous. So, do you think that maybe
where? How do we know that?
because they
Well,
talk
because
about it
Avienda
on the
just
White
ended up
Tower.
in a fucking lake.
Well,
Like at
in
the
the
bottom of a lake and had to be rescued by Rand.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the
even know that
weave
place
itself
either,
is
but you
dangerous.
can grab
That's
one
just
up.
that she traveled to a stupid place where there was a fucking winter storm and ran out naked.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that weave in particular. I'm saying so like when Elaine and Egwene are in the White Tower, the Aes Sedai are teaching them, not to just make things willy-nilly because they don't know what it can snap into. It could snap, they preach to them that it could be explosive. They could burn themselves out. They could kill somebody. There's all different kinds of crazy things that could happen when you experiment with the one power.
Yeah, all these cautionary tales, right?
Yeah. So
Isn't that just the White Towers? So step back for 1 second.
Yeah.
My question was going to be put to all of you: is Avienda a wildling?
You mean a wilder? Is that what
Wilder, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
to them,
What the fuck does that mean?
well, so to Aes Sedai, you guys have totally different taste in music than I do. Though now all I could think about is Major League and Charlie Sheen. Anyway,
Talk
the-
That's where I know the song from too.
the Aiel, the Aes Sedai call anyone who learned to channel outside of the tower a wilder.
So she is.
Yeah, anyone who didn't learn to channel at the White Tower.
And where do we hear those cautionary tales from? The White Tower. So and we know that the fucking Aes Sedai are masters of manipulating the truth to fit their need and want.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I don't give that much credence to anything that they claim.
Well,
Josh is
to your point-
game recognizes game.
To your point,
Yeah.
the White Tower says that
Bullshit.
2 out of 3 people who don't get training die. We don't hear that
In
about
the West,
Aiel,
but
do we?
none of the Windfinders die. It didn't seem like. Doesn't seem
That-
like the Suladam
Oh.
die.
No. They do talk about how women who are not guided die. They talk about
Who does?
sometime. All of them.
Wait.
Every group
Aiel do?
that has
Okay.
every
Aiel?
group- Yeah, every
No,
group that
I
has
thought
women.
they explicitly said that the Aiel, that no one dies who can channel
Oh,
because of the way
because
that
they
their
can-
culture.
Yeah, because they
is-
can train them. Yeah,
Okay.
but anyone who doesn't have someone to show them how can die.
Did
Okay,
someone
so
train
there was
Avienda
a
then?
comment about like
Wise one.
there was a comment about people
He's not
trying
wise.
to
Go ahead. Okay, I'm sorry.
people or like not being good. I'm trying to think of what that was. There was a comment about them like, oh, it was if they hadn't practiced. That's what
So-
the phrase was. It was if they hadn't practiced.
Yeah,
Their channeling is as if they hadn't. Who is that? Wise ones?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you guys are like, I'm not gonna say.
It was just this chapter.
No. I honestly don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. Kidding.
I don't remember that part.
Oh, well.
The thing that happens is if you're born with the spark to channel, so like you're gonna channel no matter what.
Maybe that.
The first time you channel is violent and can kill you, and then if you aren't guided to your first channeling, you can die. But if someone who can channel teaches you how to open yourself up to the one power and how to control it, then you won't die. So groups and cultures that have people that can teach them usually don't die because you know the wind finders can teach new wind finders, and
I love all the elements,
Yeah.
right? Like all the elements are like, I just love all that. Okay, so I just want to
but they even
I
in
mentioned that before, and I really think there's something to that. Like,
oh yeah, there's so much of that. Yeah.
oh no,
so like an instance where it happens is in Eye of the World. They talk about how a lot of the young women who were training to become wisdoms die around their 13th to 16th birthday.
Yeah.
Which is
okay.
Brutal.
Okay, that makes sense, I guess.
But if someone can, it's basically not knowing how to, so you know how like women, if you draw too much of the power in, if you let it flow into you too much, it'll kill you. And how when Rand puts the fire out in the Stone of Tyr, and he tells Elaine and Egwene, oh, I just pulled the heat out of the flame. And
Right, they're like, "You can't
oh my
do that."
God, if we did that, we would die. And he's like, well, I didn't. So like, if a woman was to like not
Is
know
that
how to
is that just a difference between Saidar and Saidin?
Yes. But if a woman was to do that and not have a training, she would just die. So that's the.
But I think even if she has training, she could die, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I
what
mean,
they
if
were
someone doesn't go, don't do that because you'll die. Like they did for her in the White.
But didn't Egwene say that she tried to do it
Yeah, and she almost died.
with like a small flame or something?
Yeah, with like a candle or something like that.
Right.
can we get to the next thing?
The naughty
Yeah,
bits.
so Avienda flips out. She's like, "Oh, I'm naked! How dare you? I didn't arrange this. I gotta run away." She runs away. She creates this gateway into a blizzard, and she runs for about
Naked
a mile or two before Rand
Avienda.
catches.
Yeah, think about that.
What does it say?
She's running through waist-deep snow for a mile.
Naked Avienda.
Naked.
That's all it says. Naked.
Rand, every time he calls to her, she runs harder. He melts the snow in front of him so he could like run faster. But
He
it
heats
seems
the
like
ground so much that it's hot
Oh
for
my
him to
gosh.
walk on.
it
Keep
compromises
talking,
the
keep
ice.
talking, puppets. Come on. Yes. Beats the ground. He runs harder. What else? Keep talking. This is so
We're almost there.
Chapter
We're
31.
almost
And then suddenly, Avienda, because of the heat compromised ice, falls into a lake. Rand is like,
Woo!
oh no. He runs over.
Yeah, he does.
Just
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
reaches.
Oh, no.
Well, first he puts all the blankets and shit that he brought over on the heated thing that he's got. I'm gonna heat these blankets. It's gonna be like a spa. When she comes out, it's gonna be so comfy. Here, I'm gonna put these here. All right. And
And he's
then
like,
he just
"Let me just
kind of
grab her
goes
frozen-ass
and
hair."
reaches down. He's like, oh, I gotta reach. Oh, there she is, and pulls her out.
He also I highlighted another thing for drinking here. The other hand locked in Avienda's hair. I like that one.
Yep. No, that out of context, that's perfect.
He did and he yanked her out by her hair.
Yanked her
though.
out,
Like
yeah.
he pulled her out of the
Yanked
ice
her
by
out
her
by
hair.
her.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's a beautiful scene, and I love it, and I'm here for it. And yes,
So here.
so here for it. So happy.
I'm running low on Lumen.
So,
Yeah, I got a refill
he's
here
like,
too.
he pulls her out. She is cold.
Yep.
She-
I'm sorry. There's a word in this chapter that I Josh's big wrinkly brain probably liked. Move, you flaming fatherless son of a spavined goat.
Spavine girl. Yeah.
Flaming fatherless son of a spavined goat.
Yeah, you know what? That's a drinking obligation because who the fuck thinks that? Come on, RJ.
Hey,
Yeah, no one
someone
thinks,
from the
oh,
Two
you
Rivers.
fatherless.
Yeah.
but
It's
why
his
would
only.
he say
It's his
spine?
only reference. Is goat.
It just means old goat. It just means old. Why would he just say old?
It actually
You're a
means,
goat. You're a goat. You're a goat.
it actually has a little bit of sexual innuendo attached to it. It actually means afflicted with a swelling of the hock joint.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Where's the
Oh my
hawk? What's the
Oh.
hawk
Look
doing?
at the smile on Josh's face as he reads
Yeah,
that.
MaTsDaGger knows.
We're happy.
Wow.
Spavined.
So is his hocks swollen
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, his hock joint gets mad swollen.
Mad swollen. In about a
Mad
second,
swollen
will be.
hawk joint. I
2
don't
or
know
3
what that
hours
means.
worth of.
I'm not sure I'm on board with that reference.
Then he backed himself into his molten glass that he made
Mm-hmm.
on the shore, and he made himself a little igloo,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Igloo of the power.
What they do
But you know what? Gosh, he really gets horny.
Really
He
fast.
gets really horny while he's trying to save this woman.
Yep.
He's like, quote, his sense of touch enhanced by the void and Sidene soaked in the feel of her. Her skin makes silk.
Oh wait,
feel
hold on.
rough.
steamy,
Hold on.
but it's steamy enough to melt an igloo, I guess.
His sense of touch
Not fun.
enhanced by the void and Sidene, soaked in the feel of her. Her skin made of silk, feel rough. Her skin
silk feel
made
rough.
silk feel rough.
Yes,
Compared to her skin, satin was. No, don't think of that. Stop. Don't think. Stop
Don't
it.
think. Don't think. He says, don't think. And then later he's like, she's so peaceful. She's not angry at all. Stop thinking. And then he's like,
I know. It's like someone would be like, okay, do baseball stats.
yeah.
Grandpa,
And then he starts thinking of Elaine. He's like,
Grandpa.
He's like, I remember making out with Elaine. Don't think. So
Yeah,
you
stop.
know that
I-
he was kind of getting a little aroused. I would
He-
probably
but he-
assume, right?
Oh, he was
Every
getting semis like on
Yeah,
the
semi-
Reddit.
Did you
So-
did you all
Semi-truck
notice?
driver.
Did you know? You'll notice every time his brain turned to sex, though, he thought of Elaine and Min,
Yeah.
and then Avienda.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yes!
What did he call himself? A lecher? Of thinking of all three of them?
That makes sense.
He said, keep your mind out of the pigsty, man.
Yeah, no gutters in this world. They have pigsties. Yeah.
That is exactly you stole
I
my.
stole it. I stole your line.
Wow. I was like, wow, there are no gutters in this world, so I guess thank you.
Yeah. Out of the pigsty.
You're paying for that later, Ryan.
So paying for that.
So he's just speaking
Get down
stuff.
there.
He's just talking to her, stroking her hair, stroking her face, trying to warm her up. He's like, "Oh, she's still cold. I need to get naked too. Body heat."
Yeah.
Did you guys pick up on him quoting or remembering the dragon prophecies again? That he would die at Shaogul.
Yeah,
Do you remember
yeah.
what that
Oh,
prophecy
right.
was?
Yes. Okay, so he's supposed to die in Shaogul if he. Wait, isn't that one of the prophecies of like what could happen to the dragon?
Do either of you remember the prophecy?
Well, I thought that I remembered the prophecy, but I.
Well, I mean, like the words of
Now.
it.
Oh no.
No, you almost got it. You almost got it.
I mean, I thought that he would die. Like, yeah. Anyways. Josh,
So
help.
his blood on the rocks of Shaogul washing
Oh,
away the
right.
shadow, sacrifice for a man's salvation.
Okay.
Was the prophecy that he's thinking of.
Well, in theory, could blood be semen?
Listen, I think you should go to the doctor.
I hope
Well,
not.
his family, his blood.
I believe the term is vital fluids
His vital fluids.
from Dr. Strangelove.
If
I
you're confusing
apologize.
blood and semen, Dan, brother Dan, I think you should go see a doctor.
Suddenly, Avienda wakes up. She's like, this thing is pressing on my belly.
What?
Ow.
Ow.
Sorry, vital, precious bodily fluids. That's what they're called, Dr. Strangelove.
Oh my god. Wow, Josh. You just can't stop. I'm just kidding. I love you.
Rand
so much.
says, hey, man, I should have
You're fucking
knocked.
amazing.
Even though it was my bedroom, I should have knocked. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to run away from me.
And then
He's
she
like,
knock.
sees
She's knocking
seizes
now.
his hair in both of her hands and kisses him. Finally,
he says, you won't have to run away from me again. And she says, I will run no more.
he took his arms from around her and started to slither away. And she seized a handful of his hair in a painful grip. If he moved, he would have
Sorry.
a bald
Sound
patch.
effects.
No, you're good. I like the sound effects. Perfect. So she references that I will run no more, but she also says the rings do not lie. Do y'all remember what that is?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
rings that she went through at Ruidian.
So wonder
Presumably
what
she
in
saw a future where they were together,
there. Oh.
or at least getting it on.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think
Rand's
that,
a stud. Rand lasts 2 or 3 hours.
Chaff, for real.
seriously. I was like, are you motherfucking, that's beautiful.
That's like a pirate book where
And
it's like
totally normal.
of complete
Mhm.
ecstasy. They remove themselves. Yeah, I don't know. 3 hours for his first time seems kind of long.
That's a long
That's- yeah.
time for your first
I mean, Viagra says if you have an erection for 4 hours, you should probably seek medical attention.
Well, it was probably his first,
depends on
second,
if it's natural or
third.
like, frozen in ice, I think, kind of situation.
Do you
I
think it was?
He's like not 3
I
or
mean,
4
do you
hours.
think
I
it was
think-
only once? I mean, like, come on.
Glue type
It was-
situation.
No, it was definitely more than once.
Yeah, it was
What?
definitely his first, second, third, fourth.
Yeah, okay.
Fifth.
Okay.
I had to look at
I
my
don't
hand for
know.
that one.
I think it was just him 80 seconds of business and then 2 hours and 10,
Of
50
cuddling?
minutes of
No.
just like him saying,
No.
I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not you. It's
That
me.
never happens. That really
That
never
never happens.
Like,
I don't know what happened.
I think it's because of the
weird.
cold. I don't know. It doesn't happen.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
just too chilly in here. I don't know
It's
why you
just too
couldn't
cold,
feel
yeah.
it. Oh,
You know what?
it is ice after all.
I keep thinking
Good
of
point,
Kyrie.
man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, here's where he calls her a
You're
lecher.
in an igloo.
He starts thinking about Min and Elaine again, and he says, "You're as big as a lecher as Matt," in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt's like, you wish.
So there's a part here that's just, it's another interesting little bit, I think, seeing into how disconnected people are in this world. Like, as smart as Avienda is, like, she's a smart person. She's pretty educated. She's intellectual. She's a deep thinker. She has no idea what snow is. She's like, what is this? Snow?
No idea.
Yeah.
And not only did she never, she didn't know it existed. It's not like, oh yeah, I know what snow is, but I've never seen it before. She didn't know it existed. And she kind of doesn't believe him either, which is kind of crazy.
She's like, after sex, right? She's like swiping her hand across the inner walls of the igloo. And she's just like, wow. Like, it seems like mesmerized. That's the impression that I got anyway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, that's exactly what she was
What
doing.
happened, but the words that happened, they're right here in my book. But yeah, that was fun. She's just like, shh. Like, this is nice and weird and new and what? It's not sand, it's not hot. I've been frozen, then I had sex and I'm not thinking right, and what is happening? Anyway, sorry.
You imagine how crazy the concept of snow is if you don't have that concept?
It's nuts.
If you've never seen it, you didn't even know. I mean,
He also thinks in a page or two, he thinks about the only recorded time it ever rained in the waste was the time he made it rain.
This is the thing. They start off with these chapters with water, with him steering water, which was so cool for it to turn into ice into an igloo where they have sex in, because I was like, what? The Aiel haven't seen this before, and that's absolutely abstract to them, and it's fun.
And we had all the phases of water too. We had steam when it was the ground was steaming when he heated it up, and then we had ice and liquid.
And we
water.
also, I mean, doesn't Rand describe embracing Sidene as a river?
Yeah,
like a torrent,
rushing.
He does, rushing torrential.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and he has to hold a dam up so it doesn't overtake him. Giggity.
Giggity.
Hubba.
There's another thing that he says too. There were no fish in the waste. I only knew them from books, but apparently no books about snow. No books about snow.
So, I mean, I didn't see snow until I was...
Yeah, but you knew what it was.
In my 20s. Yeah, I knew what it was.
Right.
Oh, he's so cute posed like that.
It's mostly just a way to show how disconnected the world is. It's interesting.
Right, and also just the wonderment of ignorance.
And I mean, can't the Aiel see snow on the mountain peaks in the waste?
There's no mountains in the waste.
I think Dragon Mount, it may be above the clouds, but
there are mountains in the waste, aren't there? The border the waste. I mean,
the border, yeah.
Right.
The spine.
Have they seen water
spine of the world
of any kind?
What?
The biggest stream in the waste is like literally like a couple of inches wide, and like you could, it's like probably a few feet long.
Right.
That's like a stream to them.
So in theory, there might be white stuff on the mountains that they don't know about, that they just see all the time.
Yeah.
But
generally
there is. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking, and it says that many of the spine mountains are over 20,000 feet tall. So and they were covered in snow, in a permacap of snow.
Yeah, so, probably permanently. So they wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, they wouldn't know. I mean, I doubt they climbed them.
It was always water on top. It was just they were just white.
Those are the mountains that have white tops,
and that's why they're fangs, because they have white teeth at the top.
Yeah,
that's just what they are. That's amazing. That's
so. Then they go in. Then they go into their marriage customs, which is pretty funny.
Yes.
Watching both of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh yes. He's like, well, now we have to get married. So
he's like, well,
he's like, actually, I'm not sure about that.
No.
This is another welcome change that I have from the show. I mean, you guys have seen the show, and you're reading up to here in the book, so this isn't like spoiling anything. Spoiler for the show, though. They're not crude as fuck.
No, it bothered, and that definitely, like in the first episode, I was kind of like, this is not really to the spirit of the books. But
totally, right? Like I like that in the show, and I hate.
We'll let you guys do the dishes and fuck in the kitchen.
Yeah, set up for
There's
lots of things about the show.
Yeah, no, I don't like the unhealthy relationship they build around sex in the books. It's very
okay. Prudish. Well, so this got me really thinking. And I went very down this rabbit hole of like, I think that these books are in their weird way an analysis of the free love movement of the 1970s.
Okay.
And have a moral or at least ethical dimension to them around that. Like, you got to remember when these were written, right? Like, this book was written in, what, 89?
No, 90.
91?
When was this?
This one was 93, so it was probably written in 1991. So, you got to remember, even in the early 90s, sexuality in the United States is very different than it is today.
Yeah, but it was still, well...
and it was still in a backlash. There was still a backlash similar to like the backlash to Timothy Leary with psychedelics. There was still a backlash from the sexual revolution of the 1970s in the early 90s.
No, yeah, I know
you
why
should
it
have
was
seen
there.
me from 1992 to 1994. Oh,
it's
no.
Yeah, you should have.
I should have. Well, I'm glad I didn't.
They literally talk about how two people were caught having consensual sex in the Two Rivers, and they were beaten and forced to marry
for years, and then forced to get married, and they couldn't sit down for a week even after their marriage.
Like that's unhealthy, and I like that they're making a more healthy relationship with sex in the TV shows. Like I'm not saying, oh my God, I wish we had sex in the books. Like I'm fine with them not putting it on screen. It's just the unhealthy relationship that they have between it in the books with each other.
It is
It's I mean, the show is much more contemporary, right? In that sense. Sorry, Kay, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I just started like, please go.
I don't know,
This is Josh's like expertise. I think the stuff.
Are you
not
the
70s? I'm saying that he has lots of good knowledge to spread about lots of very, very.
Spread your knowledge, Josh.
I mean, just from a literary analysis.
All over me, Josh.
Spread your knowledge.
Just from the literary analysis standpoint, like there's something to be mined out of here in relation to this set of ideas. I don't
100%.
exactly have it well formulated at the moment.
Yeah.
But it
I
led
can
me
see what you're saying.
It got me thinking along these lines.
Yeah. I mean, he was a what generation?
High Episcopalian.
Yeah,
he was
and
a baby boomer.
He was born in the 50s, right?
So they
born,
didn't do any mouth
59?
stuff? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe
not in the Two Rivers.
We don't know.
Did
Coupling talk right there.
include mouth stuff?
Oh.
Guys,
That's coupling talk.
But yes, Legally Sex was great.
Yes.
It's mediocre at best, but okay. Like it's just at least the most we've had so far.
Well, guys, listen. Hold on. Did you hear that? That was Rand's cherry.
Oh.
What? Oh my gosh!
It was.
Don't look down. Oh, no.
The question is, was it Avienda's?
Yes, I think yes.
You think yes?
Well, there's a line in this chapter where she says, "I've heard men get lazy after," meaning she doesn't have any experience with it.
Right.
Right. I have heard
I've heard men
happens.
get
Like,
so
I was laughing so hard. This was great. I
It was
listened
funny.
to the chapter like 4 times.
But that does make me think maybe she has no experience with it either.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point, Tom. And
would
so
think that
he's
the
like,
AO would be
well,
less-
you know, I started this whole thing, so...
And she's like, you started? Fuck
Her
you.
sniff was pointed and meaning.
Pointed and mean.
3 hours is mediocre.
Motherfucker.
Women use those noises like sticks to prod or thump. God dang it, Robert Jordan, that's funny.
No.
And she's like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to marry you.
You belong to the near sister of
It'll
my near
never
sister.
happen. And this will never happen again. And he's like,
Ooh,
Oh, man.
I like that, Dragon. She doesn't have any
Right?
experience with men. She is a maiden of the spear.
but I like that. I have heard that men turn lazy after, but it cannot be like that. Yeah, you know what? This is a biological feature that men get tired.
We need the blood to get
Especially
back
if
to
it's
the,
around 2 or 3
brain.
in the afternoon. You were definitely
Yeah, the little
partying.
brain. We know.
No,
we
the big
know. We know. Oh, the big.
After.
You're right. It is the
After.
bigger brain that controls most of the upper brain. So,
You're not wrong.
so,
If
know,
you
I
have
mean,
something going on, you need a nap in between. You need that, and then all right, recharge the batteries, and now I can go.
what
you know.
exactly do you need?
I need
can
it
you
all.
know?
Smoking a pancake.
You're right. Smoking
Is
Is that why boxers won't fight? Won't have sex for like a week?
a doob and a
during their
blitz?
fight week
That's
because
bullshit.
they don't want to get lazy after.
That's,
Yeah, apparently.
that's just superstitious nonsense.
Oh my goodness.
I think Mike Tyson would have sex in between rounds and still beat someone up.
And
Bite someone's ear off.
He bite someone something.
Yeah.
This is a total aside, but about the beating and sticks.
Right, Dana Lou, that's a good point though.
So funny.
She's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
never again.
You're
Sorry.
the
Never again.
He's like,
That's it.
what?
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a good
You
good
got
bit in the
yours
next.
now. Oh, beat it.
There's a good bit in the next chapter about that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Forever, ever? Forever, ever, ever?
He's literally in the middle of another thought, like a completely different thought, and then all of a sudden he's like, she can't really mean never
She
again.
won't fuck me again? Ever?
It's like he's thinking about something completely different, and then that just
Like,
pops
ever,
in the
ever,
middle of
though?
the sentence.
Ever, ever?
Yeah.
But really, ever? Like, does that
And then
mean
we jumped to pretty much-
forever, or like, is that just
Is that
Oh,
just
wow.
like a 3 ever?
forever
or two-
after
is it
kind of
forever?
a thing?
How hard are you on that ever?
Yeah. Are you? Is this etched? in
Can we get a
stone?
ranking?
Another thing that we learn
How did
is
you work 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 1 hour ago? Where?
women apparently are the ones that do the proposing to men in the Aiel customs.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if you guys read that yet.
Yeah. We saw it when the wise woman got married.
Ah, okay.
Um,
My wife made a marriage wreath for me.
Ah, that's fucking horrible. Did you both know the Wheel of Time at that point?
Yeah. Yeah, we
we
had
met
read
through
it,
the Wheel of Time.
yeah,
Right?
we had read it individually before we met.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. Wait, I think I know your story, actually.
Yeah. She only went on the first date with me. She ignored my gross spelling errors and my internet shorthand in the text message that I sent her because I was also a Wheel of Time fan. So she was like, "Oh, he can't be all that bad. He's probably not a
You're like
reading idiot."
you up, and it's just the capital U, and like an arrow pointed up.
So cute. Everybody loves a good Wheel of Time love story, a real life one,
That's
Tom.
great.
So that's incredible.
We've had like 4 weddings, like literally 4 weddings, actual weddings at Jordan Con.
Probably.
No, at Jordan Con, we've actually had 4 weddings and like 7 proposals.
I saw.
Oh,
one
like
proposal.
actual,
Actually,
like
at
yes.
the convention, like we conducted a wedding. It's 4 of them.
For yourselves.
Yes. No, for other people.
No, for
four
other
sets
people.
of people that got married.
4
There's
couples.
just
Thank
there's
you.
so much love
8
surrounding
people,
the
4 couples.
They just got married 4 times themselves, Josh.
Well, that's how I was
and they
interpreting
loved
it.
themselves so much that they kept getting married in front of other people.
We got together 2 years
Yeah.
before Jordan Con. Anyway,
Which is
back to the
wrong.
chapters.
Yeah, let's jump to chapter 32. Is there
Well,
anything
no,
else
That's
in that?
incredible.
There's
We had a proposal at WotCon too. I just want to say,
Oh.
like that was incredible, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun, right, Dan? You were there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There's another drinking obligation
Wish him well.
that we can't pass by.
All right. Talk
She
to
had
me,
no call to tell him he had a pretty behind.
Pretty button. Yeah.
I like that he used behind also.
Behind.
Right.
I always like saying that.
He is a pretty hiney.
My aside before we get too far away about the sticks is during Lathmar Holi in India, which is the first day of the Holi festival.
Mhm.
There's this beautiful story about Krishna, and basically he like went into this village, tried to like seduce these 2 girls. They started throwing powder at him to change the color of his skin, or vice versa. He started throwing powder at them, and then instead of like returning his love, they beat him with these sticks. And so every year during the first day of the Holi Festival, there's this enactment within the village that he grew up in. It's the present day city that it is, where these women, like they gather in the town square and these women beat men with these sticks. They have like these brass shields, but it's totally amazing.
I volunteered.
Cinematically. Definitely something worth checking out on YouTube or something. It's pretty fascinating.
Or go.
Yeah, it's really colorful powder that they're throwing around.
Or go, yeah. The village name, what is the village name?
Yeah. What's the name? Let me get it.
Tom's puppeteering is awesome.
Nandagon.
Let me write that down.
Nangon. Yeah, Nangon.
And okay, thanks.
Oh, no.
No reason.
I went to
know.
reach for the last piece of Indian bread, but non-gone.
Ah!
Nangon.
Dovie, I'll go with you.
It was a bummer.
Just saying.
That was a dumb joke. Hey.
It was fantastic. And now we're at the
I
short
see
spear.
Skeeter shaking his head, saying that was horrible.
Wow. So now we're in a short spear, and we have a Shanchin helmet icon, right? This is the last time we saw that was book 2. So they open up this chapter talking about how the storm is still going crazy outside, and Aviend is dividing the blankets. So he said this is a part that I find interesting, that I'm literally asking the question to everyone because I don't know the answer to this either. He says, split them equally, he told her. He knew his voice was cold and emotionless. Asmodean said he can go beyond that, but he had not managed to so far. I'm not sure what he's talking about there.
I'm sorry, can you remind me where this is?
Where is this? Yeah.
The first,
Sorry.
the second paragraph of chapter 32.
Oh, okay. Split
Oh,
them.
we
Okay.
usually like slide right past, I think.
That's what I say. You can go beyond
I
that.
think
but yeah,
Dan
don't know, so.
does.
Oh, you know what? I just thought of it. Asmodean is a musician.
Mhm.
He might, and a poet, so maybe he knows like ways, like like Tom knows high chant and low chant, and maybe there's like a way of speaking Asmodean knows that.
Wait, is this the beginning of chat?
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
I'm still confused.
You're in 32?
His
Are
voice,
you
is
in
that what
32
you're
or
talking about?
31?
Yeah. So the second paragraph of chapter 32.
Split them equally, he told her?
Yeah.
Oh.
He knew his
I'm on
voice
the-
was cold and emotionless. Asmodean said that he can go beyond that, so beyond cold and emotionless,
Right, but
he had not managed to so far. So I just thought though Asmodean was a musician in the Age of Legends, so
But what is that? Split them equally refers to the blankets.
Yeah, no, but the next part of that chapter has nothing to do with the blankets. It has to do with the way he was speaking.
There was no point in arguing. In his experience from Edmund's field to the maidens, if a woman wanted to do something for you, the only way to stop her was to tie her up.
Tie her up. Hey, you know
Breaking
what?
obligation, which is what I had.
Hey, you, come on. You tie up a woman if you want her to do something. It's right in the damn book.
Yep.
It's
That's
right
what I
there.
have
This is
highlighted. I'm like,
what you
okay,
do.
so
Guys, Josh, Josh, when's the last time you tied up someone when you wanted them to go to the store? You're like, hey, we're going to go to the store. And she's like, I don't really want to. And you're like,
I'm just going to
Give me
tie
the
you to
rope.
the chair until you go.
get me the rope.
You're ready to go.
It's not going to get her to the store any faster.
Right?
It seems
Guys,
doesn't seem advantageous to me at all.
So is he-
Asmodean is not that smart, I think.
Is the idea here that he's using some sort of the voice to give a command and she's not responding to it?
Yeah, kind of. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
He's not doing it on purpose though. He's cold and emotionless because he's in the void. So like that's just how he speaks when he's assumed the void because he's trying to.
Oh,
Hey,
he's-
Tom,
he's
can you give us
hiding, yeah.
an example? What did Rand sound like when he said that sentence?
So is
I
he
can't-
saying that his voice could go beyond that distance to
That cold and
That's it.
emotionlessness?
others, or
Yes,
is
but
he
I
saying
mean,
that his words are
his tone
His
can
mess-
go
yeah.
beyond cold and emotionless.
Cold and emotionless.
yes.
Which would get
It's
someone?
the tone of
Why
the
would
word.
that get someone to do your bidding? I mean, is it further into the void?
I don't think.
Is it relation between how deep you are within the void and the depth of your cold and emotionlessness, or are they separate things?
I don't think it has anything to do with the void. That the part that has like, only literally just now did I think of. Wow, Asmodean's a musician, so maybe he meant some sort of like voice training. But maybe it does. Maybe it does have something to do with the void. I don't know. It's a good question.
I don't think.
With the void comes a lack of emotion in general, and so I guess through training you're able to still motivate your voice to show inflection and whatnot. But right now Rand's not there,
Yeah.
so he's just like split them equally.
Or to not show inflection in order to execute control over someone, right? Like, fuck. Why can I never remember the fucking word? Of what?
Well,
Compel?
because
What more
it-
Gase was under?
Compel.
Compulsion. Thank you. Yeah. I need to get that like tattooed on my arm so I can remember it.
Ooh.
That's valuable real
Hey,
estate, Josh.
if I did that, Josh, I'd be sleeved, and I'm not. So
What, like Memento?
there's hope for
Where
you.
you're tattooing shit that on your body so you can remember
You
stuff?
can remember it. Yeah. the
Yeah,
next-
if only I did
Next
that,
cycle.
like, yeah, I'd be very much tattooed.
I'm gonna go get another drink. I'll be right back.
He's like,
Is this a
leave the
good time to
blankets.
plug news from our sponsor before?
Let's do that. Yes. Do you want to like take a quick break while Josh is doing the thing? Of the
I'm still listening. I mean, I'm
Oh,
unaware
let's
of
go,
it, but-
Josh.
I'm fine with just powering through,
Yeah,
right?
we can-
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
I just didn't know he could hear us. I didn't want to.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still
me
here.
too.
Sorry, I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
walking to the beer cooler, and I will be back. in a second.
Snazzy. Look at this technology.
I mean,
Anyway.
gosh, he's
So
jumping
he's like,
it's
we
not
gotta
a
bail. We've been fucking for long enough.
Yeah.
We gotta get back. He
Yeah,
felt
here
the
it is. Here it is.
gateway.
He said. So he goes. Maybe. So he goes. He said anything about him being a soft wetlander. She hadn't said anything about him being a soft wetlander. Maybe something good can come from this besides memory. She can't really mean never again.
Yeah, he says it right there.
Yeah, she can't really mean never again.
Well,
But
because
he
he was looking
suspected
down
that
and
she
he's
very
like-
well could.
Yeah.
He was like literally a
Yeah.
soft wetlander right then.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Little,
He was.
Little
Literally.
limpy.
He was a soft wetlander. Yeah.
He was just in a soft wetland a minute ago. All right, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna
This
go.
is how it normally looks. Actually, you're seeing it, in performance mode. But
Then
this is how it
he
normally looks.
he drops it.
Performance.
He drops again how amazing it was. Wow. Oh wait, I'm sorry. There's another drinking obligation.
I got Josh, guys. I got Josh.
Nice one.
He belly laughed.
I know that was amazing.
It was
That was amazing.
All right, I'm back.
so. Did you
Oh my gosh,
Did you-
Josh. Brother Dan got you the belly laugh.
when he opens the ice door, he says it was widening the gap.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, all
That
right. I'll
happens
give you
in the
that.
igloo.
Sure, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry to argue against widening the gap.
Then he
But it only falls over like part way too.
yeah. He says that he knew that he had lost track of time, and then he reprimands himself. You lost track of the year, Rand.
No, he lost track of everything.
Yeah, that's how good it
But
was.
with war and sex, Rand just kind of loses time.
Mhm.
Things get blurry as far
Who
as time
knows?
goes.
Yeah.
They make it out, and what's the first thing he sees?
Not unrealistic.
Let's see. With the void comes stillness and peace. Rand is sending his emotions somewhere and maybe convinces himself he's just deeper in the void than usual, but I'm not buying it.
Sees a dragon.
Speaking of dragons, yes.
He sees a dragon.
A leathery gray shape far
Finally.
bigger than a horse, with wings and a horny snout in front of clawed feet and a thin lizard-like tail.
Are we,
That's a dragon if I've
guys,
ever heard
a
one.
horny snout? Are we
Horny
are
snout,
we
yes,
just going to ignore that?
No, I have it. It's highlighted in pink. No, it's not just horny snout. It's horny snout thrust out.
Yeah. Just launch it.
Got it, Robert. Thank you.
Yeah, horny snout.
All right.
I love that.
Excuse me.
That's where Rand's been the whole chapter. He's like,
But where have we seen these creatures before?
I don't think we have.
yeah, I'm not
On the
sure
dragon
where I-
banner. No, they're not exactly the Chinese.
Yeah, they're
dragon.
not. Yeah, no. This doesn't
Type
say it
of
has a
dragon.
super long body like the
No.
ones, the miniature ones that come and settle on his skin and his vision.
Yeah.
Are much more, like the Chinese style.
Yeah,
dragon.
the Chinese myth dragons. These are more wyverny than
Right.
dragony.
More.
Oh, by
Harry,
the way,
Harry
I thought
Potter-ish.
there's a river called the Blue Dragon River. I think it's in Vietnam. And holy cow, the aerial view, it is a freaking blue dragon. It is crazy. Anyways, Google it, guys. After the show.
So Dana Liu agrees with you. We saw them in book 2. So during the time with the Shan-Chen.
Yeah, I thought we did see them. Yeah.
The
I remember seeing.
Yeah, there were riders. They're called Torakin, I think they were.
Torakin and Rockin. There's 2 different types. 2
on the dragon?
Yeah. And then we see the 2 riders in the dragon. So we are in the Shan-Chen.
Riders, yeah.
So let's take a look. Let's come back over. Let's come back over to the map over here now and take a look.
You know what?
So here they were over here in Einrod, and then they went for a little ride. It was a bit of a travel that they did. It was this. Look at this. Look at that. That's the whole planet.
Far they went.
That's like the whole planet. And they ended up right there. Right on the like the little tip right there. Look, I put a little heart around it for you.
All right, so there's a little heart around it. If you zoom in,
is there a heart around the chip?
Yep.
Do you see the igloo there, guys?
Yeah.
You see the little hearts above it?
Yeah. Got to give another shout out to Rob Christensen. He put that on the map. He put the tiny little igloo that's right there. A little tiny little igloo. Look at it, little baby.
So it is significantly south of Ranland, and it is blizzard time there.
Yep. So that's where they are, right on this like tip, right around there.
So we're in the southern hemisphere.
On the tip, right on the tip, on the tiny tip.
Rand does.
Oh no, he goes long.
Rand does remark that it's weird that it's so cold this time of year, but that's because they're in the southern hemisphere, and most of the Westlands are up there in the northern hemisphere.
What is this? What is the Australia-like continent down here in the bottom right? The land.
The land of madmen.
Madmen.
It's the Madlands now.
Cutest little sandals in the whole wide world.
Land of mad.
Yeah. It's now called the Madlands though.
The Madlands.
Yeah. So the updated. This is the updated map, the official map that was released with that's going to be released with the Origins book.
Oops,
Hang on, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the new Shan-Chen here, and then over here is the Madlands. The original. This is the original name of this island. Actually, the man who's doing the Origins of the Wheel of Time book, Michael Livingston, put out an article on Tor.com, which I actually did a show about this past Saturday with the guys from the Black Tower podcast. Go check it out on YouTube.
Nice, we love that.
Is it spoiler free?
It is not spoiler free. Not you guys.
We are not allowed to watch most of these things, Josh.
Yeah, those are spoilery.
We are
very spoilery.
Limited.
So it looks like it's connected to the Blight, is it not? If you move, I thought Shan-Chen was its own island, but if you like kind of move over a little,
I like that, Mauricio.
Yeah, no, it is connected to the Blight. Yeah, and the Blight is connected to the northern ice cap of the whole planet, which is interesting. But this is the new official world map.
Well, that's amazing, Marisu. That's amazing. I like that as well. Like, she was so desperate to be gone. Like, that was such an inconvenience, and not inconvenience, but it was such a moment of just like disbelief, and she could not possibly fathom like what the fuck was happening. Exactly. Where Rand saw her in such a vulnerable state, and then she just shot to the furthest end of the earth, literally.
Yeah, quite literally.
In that uncomfortable situation, and I mean, again, like
what's crazy to me.
That's cool.
It is cool. It's really cool. What's crazy to me is that they were able to travel all the way back to Sunshine Land in the amount of time that it's been since the battle.
What do you mean?
Because some of the people who he meets, the Sunshine, were at the battle where, right? So, like, I thought it took longer than that to travel the ocean, but I guess not.
Yeah, well, so let me pull up the new Randland map. Again.
This seems like a okay. So we have time zones,
Yeah, I don't want to go too
jump into like a different place. Doesn't that mean that there's a different time zone? I don't.
We already saw that. We already saw that in the
There's
Dreamland when
right?
they meet up. Remember?
Right.
Well, it's because
similar
you know
at all?
they're-
Like, is it an
Well,
all?
this also shows how immense the blight is.
yes, and the Northern Ice Cap. I really want to see some like the Thing version with Shadow Spawn, like the Thing, but Shadow Spawn. That would be a crazy RPG setting up in the Northern Ice Caps of the Ranland world with crazy Shadow Spawn that somehow can live in that. That would be nuts. Anyway, so I don't want to go too deep into this map. And if you guys want to check it out that are watching that don't mind spoilers, go check the DragonMount Instagram. The video's on there. But the original world map that they had for Ranland was very, very wrong. And the only one that they had was in the Big White Book of Bad Art. The Robert Jordan's The World of the Wheel of Time, it's called. Which we very lovingly refer to as the Big White Book of Bad Art. And when Michael Livingston was doing this book, he actually found correspondence between the editor of that book and Robert Jordan, where Robert Jordan specifically said, this island over here is not called the Land of Madmen, change it. It's supposed to be called the Madlands. And then they just didn't change it. And when they drew the map of the Shanshan, he was like, you drew it wrong. It's supposed to extend way further south and be about 75% bigger on its below the southern equator, south of the equator. And then they just never made those changes. So this book has a more accurate to Robert Jordan's wishes of the world map. So if you look, it's actually not too far. Like from if they were sailing from like right over here, which is, you know, like a good idea that they might be, you know, to get to Falm, which is, you know, like right there, or even from over here, like if they had like some sort of area up here that they had boats in, like there's a stop right here with some islands, and then there's even some more islands like over here by Ranland that they could stop at before they get, you know, to Falm.
Well, and we know that they are on those islands where the Seafolk Islands that are close to Ranland.
Those are closer. Yeah, these are the ones that are like along the coast there. Yeah,
that's where we saw the High Lady Sarath the last time.
But
was on those islands there.
We digress. We don't need to go too deep into the geography. Sorry,
it's helpful to understand. I mean,
yeah, that's why I like doing the map thing. I was like, I always wish I had something like this when I was reading the books. And
I love this. I love that we have a map. I thank you so much for like giving me some sort of visual.
Oh yeah,
this whole thing, because it's very difficult to conceive of. In a lot of ways, we have Christmas lights going on. No, we don't.
I love it. I love the snow. I came back to the screen and there was snow.
Yeah, this is such a windy snow.
Could you imagine what she's thinking though when she wakes up and she sees the ocean for the first time ever? Because they're on the shore of the ocean when they first come out of the igloo during the igloo.
They can see down to the shore.
Crazy. Yeah.
So we were inside the igloo. She's already like, ice. This is fucking cold and weird and amazing. And she's like almost awe-inspired-ish, kind of, I guess, from it. And then there's water. Like, what the fuck? How do you?
As far as the eyes can see.
This, and you just had sex for the first time? That's amazing. That's a good time. Yes. Sorry.
Blew her world. Literally.
My world.
Right. So then they see the land, the ocean, they start running, they sneak. I'm imagining like
the dragon, and there's people hunting us, so we're gonna sneak.
I imagine like the Pink Panther, and they're like doot doot doot, and then they hide behind a tree. They had to be sneaky.
Pink Panther's red.
Yes, he is.
Then they get
really started selling fucking insulation.
I forgot that he was the spokesperson for that for a while.
Yeah, that sucked. You don't sell insulation just because you're pink and
just because you're the same color.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, I was like, wait, who the fuck is selling insulation? I've
Pink
gone
Panther.
Oh, the Pink Panther.
to another world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pink Panther.
So they make it back to the gateway.
They get into the gateway, but it's guarded.
Yep.
There are several what we know as Shanshan now because there's some Damane and Saldam.
And insectoid-like helmets.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, hey, Avienda, can you block all 4 of them? She's like, fuck.
She's like, motherfucker, I got that.
Of course I can fucking do.
Of course I can do that
Who
shit.
the fuck are you? Of course. God damn you. Of course. God, you suck.
Get off your fucking
was
high horse.
terrible.
Yes.
Of course I can do that shit. Man, you think you're the
I
only person with power around here.
Okay. I want to act. So as they're making this plan, she says, they could cast those spears that far, and if any of them hit you, if any of them were to pin you to the ground, for a moment she muttered under her breath as if she was angry, and then he says, "What would she be angry about now? Better try understanding the sun than a woman."
Yeah, you know what? And I'm underlining that because that's people are people. What,
Do you know why her voice would come off as angry right there, Brother Dan?
Well, it might be because she just.
Oh, I do, but I
Wait,
want to
hold on,
okay.
Well, I want to see what the men have to say about this, and then I want to ask the woman what she thinks.
I think it's just RJ being weird. RJ just saying, "Oh, men can't understand women." It's like, might as well understand the sun.
Yashua?
I think it's concern for her feeling of powerlessness in the face of him being pinned to the ground with a spear.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yep, that's what I thought. Here, Kay, you tell me if we're right. My thought was she realized as she was saying it that she's in love with him and she doesn't want to lose him. Like she imagined him dying and was like, That's what I agree.
I have a note here actually already written about this. So, Avienda, she had to admit she cannot do everything. She has pride.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That's
a good point.
Dana agrees with Tom and I. Yeah.
Well, Dana Lou didn't hear my point before she wrote that. So.
That's true. I think she probably agrees with your point. I think they can both be true.
That's true.
Well, I think they can. I think that all
I
of
didn't
things,
even think of
I definitely thought about your things too. They occurred to me, and then this was ultimately the note that I wrote down. So, like,
that's why I mentioned powerlessness, because I think it is. It's that like fear of failure in the face of.
Absolutely. She does not
something
like
happening to
admitting that
someone
she
that you
can't do
love.
something either. Yeah.
Right.
there's
So what
lots of-
was Avienda naked going back to the gateway?
No, she's in her skirt.
Oh, she's wrapped in
No,
blankets at least.
She's wearing her. No, she's got her
has her
skirts
clothes.
on.
Yeah.
He grabbed her
Oh,
clothes
he grabbed
when
her
he
skirts
ran out of the
and then,
room.
like, a bunch of
Yeah,
skirts. That's right. Yeah, because
It slowed
And
her
they-
down in the snow, so he picks her up.
Yeah. And they described her putting them on at the end of the last
Right,
show.
right.
Or the
It's
beginning
all
of the show.
horny again.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
God.
yeah,
He
yeah.
I
watches
didn't
her-
realize how
Oh, yeah,
much
the
leg a woman
stockings.
shows pulling on a stocking.
He's gonna look at her.
All right, Robert Jordan, you just revealed yourself there, buddy.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
that
Well-
He's a leg man. He's
Leg
definitely
man.
a leg man. He likes an upturned calf and a thigh and ankles. All the ankles. So many ankles.
So he's like, wait until I touch your arm.
So many ankles
Touch-
before the ankles time.
He embraces sighting,
Exactly,
touches
Dovie.
her arm, and sure as shit, Avienda is able to block all 4 of these women.
There you go,
Yeah.
Kay.
And wrap them in air.
And wrap them in air, yeah. And they just kind of
That's pretty-
stride out
that's pretty
like,
gangster.
hey, hi, suckers. He
Forgot to gag him though.
He looks at the gateway, and it is woven with sardine. It is not a Sidar that Avienda used, and as he looks through, it is just gray. He can't see into his bedroom anymore.
It's Sidene, and he didn't put it there.
He didn't put it there.
And it was interwoven with his weaving, so you could tell.
He could not tell what it was meant to do, yet it could easily be
But
a
it's
trap
closing.
ever step through.
Ever so slightly, yeah.
Woven by one of the male Forsaken, by Asmodean most likely. If the man could have if the man could hand him over to the others, he might be able to regain his place among them, right? Is that the part?
Yeah.
Right. So he's thinking, hey, this gateway looks different than when I left, and it's fucking Sidene. Did Asmodean just change it so we're gonna walk out and suddenly we're in a trap?
Fire.
Yeah, the Dark One's bowels. Are we?
He has no idea.
Lamphere and Moginian and all. Like, are they?
More like the Dark One's taint.
Giggity.
He's like, hubba. He's
I
like,
like
I
to
don't know
refer
what
to
that
it as
shit
the
is.
fleshy fun bridge, but that's just me.
Right? It is a fleshy fun bridge.
Amanda tries to remove the break. Oh, go ahead.
Hang on. I love this part. So Rand touches the collar first. And the same thing happens to him that happened to Nynaeve when she grabbed the male collar in the city where she took it.
But it doesn't happen to him, it happens to the two women.
No, he felt a jolt. It
feels
says
it in his
he
arm,
felt
yeah.
a jolt that
he
nearly
felt it.
numbed his arm.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
that
sorry.
happens sometimes.
I thought you were talking
You all
about
know.
I do.
Drink. Kidding.
I mean, it is a little different because I think Nynaeve and
You call that
Egwene,
the
when she
stranger.
touched it, they felt like an emptiness.
Yeah.
And like more of like an emotional content than it was like a physical jolt.
Yeah. I was
But-
referring to what happens to the two women who are connected to the collar.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, me
I
too.
forgot about that part.
Mhm. But that also does happen, I think, to the man, right? Like an emotional dissonance.
Well, no. Well, the thing that happens to the women is it's
Okay.
later in the thing. It says that they were filled with the one power, and it scared them and made them fall over writhing in pain, which is what happens if you channel too much of the power. So,
Right. His Sidar or Sidene through the collar was so intense for them.
yeah, that they almost died. They almost exploded with the one power. Giggity.
That probably felt pretty good, though.
It didn't look like it felt good.
I mean, come on.
You did.
And is possibly have too much of a bad thing? I don't know.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
I
You're
don't
hilarious. I just
So,
got
I mean, if you, yeah, whatever doesn't kill you makes you feel good.
Giggity. So I highlighted a whole bunch of stuff in this next part because there's a lot of new words here.
Okay, and so yeah, God, I need to reread this part because we don't ever get introduced to which of the characters are which. Like, who are the Daman, who are the Suladam? Like, we just get people talking and referring to one another by name, and that's so not fucking helpful.
Yeah, a little.
I read it twice, and I was like, "Fuck!" I still don't know who is who, and
That's
who is
how I felt about
talking,
last
or who is referencing
Yeah,
what.
it's a little rough. So we know for one shout out to Siri. So Siri is the Daman. She's named after another person from Tarvalon.net who's a really good friend of mine. Her name is Shannon. She was the Amarylline Seat at Tarvalon.net for a while. Anyway,
What the motherfucking what?
Look at you. Hey, oh.
What? You drop shit like that and you're just like,
Oh, yeah.
well, anyways,
Hey,
let's just move
have
on.
you
with the
seen my
conversation.
Rolodex? Okay,
Okay.
I have to give a shout out to Siri. She's awesome.
And also, yes.
She actually
The
comes back
original
later in the
Siri,
books too.
You should give a shout out to the original,
Always.
the OG Siri.
So when you tell Siri to call Siri, what happens?
Yeah, what happened? Fred?
I don't allow Apple products in my house.
That tracks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Steve Jobs is a genius.
Never.
No, not so much.
So we know Siri is the Daman, and then Lady Morsa. So we know Lady Morsa is probably a high blood, right?
Yes, because she has the long fingernails under her gloves.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Well, they call her Lady Morsa too. So
Right.
I would think.
They do.
And Then they.
So what does it mean? Save Siri, Mistress.
Oh, because she's trying to take off her collar.
Right, but is she referring to herself in the third person?
They treat them like animals.
Save Siri, yeah, exactly.
Save me, save Siri.
There is no personification. There's only labels.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
if
how
that's
she.
her voice sounds. I don't think
Probably.
It might be. That was pretty good.
That was also how they spoke in book 2 as well. Like the more trained Domain, the ones that were broken because they break them mentally as well as physically. But they treat them like animals. So that's she's referring to herself outside of herself.
Yeah. And she's weeping uncontrollably. So like it's a very big, heavy situation. And
she's afraid.
It feels as heavy as like it feels as heavy as I felt during the original like capturing of Egwene. You know, like it's just.
That was definitely a rough chapter.
Yeah, it was very difficult to read and uncomfortable. And so this feels like that.
And Egwene had a little PTSD moment when Nynaeve and Elaine told her that there was a Shanshan with Val and Lucas traveling circus.
Yeah.
But the she's also afraid because she's a Marath Domain. So Domain means leashed one, and Marath Domain means unleashed.
Unleashed, right? One who is not one who needs to be leashed.
One who must be leashed. Yeah. So they
wait, and so the Sanchans speak the Old Tongue.
Everyone speaks the Old Tongue. Well, we don't know if they speak the Old Tongue like fluently, but they use words.
They use words, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I forget where, but we learned somewhere that Damane is an Old Tongue word.
Yeah, in book 2.
So, but the common tongue is what people mostly speak, right?
Yes. No one speaks the Old Tongue like fluently.
So it'd be like
something
like
and the aliens
and the Forsaken.
The aliens.
It's like being able to speak hieroglyphic.
Sorry, Kay.
Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna.
Oh, my bad.
No. Like when there's a chance, like I just want to before I forget. That's the only reason.
I feel you.
Like so. Fuck. Okay, it's about the person, the people, the way that we describe them, about it being like kind of in a third person point of view, and it's just not very helpful in that way. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry. I was talking about something.
Sorry about that.
No, it's me. It's my brain. Don't be sorry. That's not you.
I know what you're saying.
I'll figure it out when I read it.
Yeah. When I think of something.
Highlighted. Yeah, right? And like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking of something. What?
Yeah.
That's
it's either I say it.
And then I distract myself from the thought. With the thought that I have a thought.
It's either I say it, or I stop listening to the conversation and just focus on it so I can remember it. That's like my only option.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we jump into a whole bunch of new words here too. So we have, this isn't new, the Ever Victorious Army, obviously. We know what that is. That's how they refer to the army of the Shanshan. But we have a Seeker, Listeners, the Tower of Ravens. There's a lot of new things happening here. We also have the Lady Morsa referring to the Empress here. She says the Empress has forbidden speech of the Corrine, which is the return. There's another Old Tongue word for you. Mm-hmm. But she does. One thing I noted here, which I'm not sure is a mistake on Robert Jordan's part or the lady's part. She says the Empress herself, but not the Empress. May she live forever, as she's supposed to.
Yikes.
Which may prompt part of the next part of this chapter, which is where that Seeker is like, bitch, who do you think you're talking to?
Yeah. This is the Lady Morsa, but we see the hierarchy there, and the Seekers can put the question to anyone, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
he says that he put the question to 2 of the Empress's children. So that's...
And was able to actually gaze upon the Empress.
Yeah.
Oh, and we did see that she has the falcon or the bird tattoo that means she's one of the Seekers.
Raven, right?
The
Raven.
one that's
Thank
secret.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw the Raven and the guy who was hunting. We learned about the Ravens, whatever they're called, Watchers or whatever. Who, when we
Seekers.
met the Seekers, thank you. I did say that first. When we met the other Sanshin, last book.
In Tanchiko, yeah, the ones that were
Tanchiko,
tied
yeah.
up. Yeah, the Suldam that were tied up. Yep.
Right. Well, and the woman who had captured them,
Yeah.
whose name I can't remember right now. But,
Someone in E.
Eganon.
Ganon. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
So
she-
the Seeker arrests everyone.
yeah, they can
Right.
arrest anybody. They're like the secret
She
police.
says the woman Rosa is in custody of the Seeker of the truth. Should we put to the question as soon as we return to wherever? And the Soldam and Dame as well. It seems they too have hidden what they should not have.
So it's interesting. Like the Shanshin are kind of socially advanced in some ways, where they don't have this like separation where like women can't also fight and serve in the military and be generals and be seekers of truth, apparently. But they also like, we can't speak about this war or the Empress will cut our tongues out. And I have a secret police force, and if they keep things from me, I will literally torture them to death until they tell me everything. Like this, it's weird. It's a weird society they live in.
Perhaps you would enjoy being tongueless in the Tower of Ravens. Not even the listeners would hear you scream for mercy or pay heed.
It's just crazy. We get a weird look into Shanshin society.
Is tongueless in the Tower of Ravens a drinking obligation?
I
It is now.
will take you up as such.
Okay.
Chills.
You know what was really nice?
Who wants tongueless, by the way?
Nobody.
No one?
Nobody in this house. Nope.
So
I'm
do we
with
know
that.
anything about who the listeners are?
Nope, not yet. This is I'm pretty sure I checked. I did a cursory look. I started putting together my document of my PDF of all of the books in one document so that I could search it. And I don't think the listeners were mentioned previous
to this. I think this is the first time we learned about it. And he even says the rest, Seekers, listeners, Tower of Ravens, were a mystery.
So the Man and Avienda are like, all right, follow my lead. We're gonna go nice and yeah, we're gonna go together. We're not gonna go separate. We're gonna go together because I don't want any of us to get hurt. And then they jump through the gateway. A spear is thrown at them as they are leaving. When the gateway closes, it severs the spear, and so it becomes a half shaft.
Half shaft.
Did it get circumcised? Is that what happened?
It got clipped
from
at
a
the
half
base.
shaft. However you want to see that, Tom. It may have been circumcised. I think that
It was a
Saco.
It was a suddenly wobbling 2-foot length of spear.
He does refer to it as his scepter later.
He does, and he's also keeping it for something.
He's like, hey, it's a good thing the Soldam didn't get out, and Avienda's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I sealed them as hard as I could.
Oh yeah.
They're your enemies, Ran. Quote, you must be hard with your enemies, not soft. And then later he had
that's
to
a
become
drinking
harder.
obligation for sure.
He had to become harder.
There's several. I have to be hard. I have to get harder. There's so many. I think we should just drink once right now for all.
Should we just guzzle? Let's just like take a 3-second.
Yeah, maybe we should shotgun a beer.
We should like just
That's a
need to,
little
like,
messy.
Josh.
Excuse me.
Pay attention, Josh. Hello, Josh. Cheers.
But
Josh.
they get back into his bedroom.
Yeah, and immediately Avienda says, I noticed that you did not save the wave-faced Morsa from her fate. From the way you looked at her, I thought big eyes and a round bosom had caught your eye.
Yeah.
Like, the first description of them they're covered in armor and fur-lined cloaks.
You know, you take away her attitude, and Avienda is the best wingman ever.
It's true. Avienda could see a good set of breasts underneath the fur-lined cloak.
She's like, look at that bitch getting upset, pushing her arms underneath her breast to be all shruggy about it. That's
I forgot who said it before. But there's more evidence of maybe she wasn't with men before, but she noticed. Little evidence there for that. I'm gonna start looking into that. I'm gonna start looking for it now as we read. I forgot who mentioned it before.
Well, we know her sisters. The sister wives, or the close sisters who shared their men.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not?
Avienda then basically thinks that it was. So we learn when they go through the gate also that weird grayness was them seeing the weave that Asmodean did to make the gateway invisible, and Rand, which was tied off because when they jumped through, Asmodean was not holding the one power. Avienda assumes that Rand made it, and he's like, "Yep, yeah, that was a great idea I had to make it invisible."
He's like, "Get out of here! I need to talk to Asmodean." No.
Yep. No, wait. There's a really good. The really good part was the lie that Asmodean used to keep everyone out of there was that they were doing it. Yeah, they were doing it. So she said. Then she laughed out loud and went running off, which was the guy Shane that he told that to. And then a few minutes later, there were 20 Fardary's Mai beneath the window, shouting and beating their spears and bucklers for a good hour or more. I must say, my Lord Dragon.
Get it. Hey,
some of the suggestions they called up even startled me. I want to see what chat thinks. The Fardary's Mai were shouting that startled or forsaken.
Or the Forsaken is like, oh Jesus!
Wow,
calm down, ladies.
Those Fardary's Mai
these ladies are vulgar.
Are they jealous?
Or are they just skilled?
That's true. I'll
Give
be
him
in that.
3 holes, Avi.
Yeah, I want to play Maiden's Kiss now. All right, so she through her powers of deduction, she figures out that guy Shane was her first sister. Yeah. So her first sister.
It's probably Niella. Goddamn Niella.
Her first sister. That could mean her actual sister, or someone that she just entered she did the ceremony to become first sisters with. We don't know.
Well, apparently she's going to send her back to Charine with a welt on her bottom for everyone she told. A welt.
Shows welts proudly.
Bottom, behind. Lots of euphemisms for butt.
So he gets rid of Avienda. He's
surrounding him like Sarah. That was. I'm sorry. That was one that was from the past. It's right here in front of me.
Here's another little interesting bit that I want to see what you guys think of. So this is something that I noticed very much when I was reading this book for the first time, was how often they talk about being able to feel someone channeling, like sense it, very far away. And relatively, I feel like Rand didn't do something like incredibly powerful, but we kind of learned that maybe he did. She said, "I felt your weave. Anyone within a mile could have felt it, but I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know anyone but Demandrid could block a gateway that was closing. Maybe Semiraj and Lutheran, which are 3 of the strongest channelers. Like Semiraj is more powerful than Asmodean. Demandrid is probably the 3rd most powerful person on the planet, next to Ishmael, Lanfear, and I guess 4th, and Rand.
Rand, right?
And then Lutheran, who is Rand. So maybe that thing that he did was super powerful, but like still, it's dangerous to channel the one power as a man because any other man can sense you from pretty far away.
And it does seem like that's kind of, I don't know, the route they're going. Like, let's figure this, like, let's hunt this hunt this guy down. And so yeah, you're right, it's a very dangerous thing to do. Because like the white cloaks are channeling. Because the white cloaks are like kind of on to stuff, and they're
you have to channel the one power to sense it. So
well, let's also think about what happened in
the white
Dungeon.
So yeah.
There was a fucking dragon after 3 hours of sex, and they're like, yeah, we felt a chant that we knew that there was a Martha Damane. That was like, all right, so do they have like alarms that are like, burr, burr, burr. Hey, they
have their own ward set.
Yeah, we don't know where they were. Maybe maybe they were just outside of a military base or something. But they did say that they sensed it.
Yeah.
But they didn't respond for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
So, no. Yeah, just saying. So, anytime people channel, it seems like it is like just suddenly broadcasting to anyone who's on that same frequency that this shit's happening.
Yeah, if it's strong enough, you could feel it.
And I mean, it was probably the gateway being open that broadcasted, right?
Oh yeah,
right?
Because it was a woman channeling. So,
whoa, he's trying to close all those. Wait.
Yeah, it's when it first opened. The Shanshan were probably like,
the
like,
we
got a channeler in Sector 2.
Yep.
All right, let's send out the Air Force.
So he threatens.
Dragon.
He then threatens Asmodean when he says, like, you didn't teach me the thing, and which is when he started rambling about Lutharen being able to block the gateway, and he then says, from now on you will tell me 2 things I don't ask every time we talk. Every time, mind. If I think you're trying to hide anything from me, you will be glad to let Semiraj have you. So that's Rand. I mean, I think that's pretty hard. Giggity.
Rand is the Dread Pirate Roberts. He's like, good night, Asmodean. Good job today. I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, most likely.
I'll most likely kill you in the morning.
Most likely kill you in the morning. For 7 years, he said that.
The last word of this chapter is hard.
Yep. Very hard, in fact.
Very hard.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 words. But yes. So that is the theme.
Hard. Get hard. Be hard. Find out how to get hard.
Stay hard for 3 hours. Stay hard for 2 hours. Stay hard for an hour.
And still get horny. When she's getting dressed. You're like, God damn, I want to.
It'll be like, wow, she's sexy when she gets her clothes all on her body.
I want to sniff her underwear.
Look at those legs. Man.
You're dirty.
Taint. What? Anyway.
So, my one last question is this sentence here. There is sedition in this district. This is the Jelinden speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is sedition in this district. I do not know how men like you are treated in your lands, but in Sanchan, your sufferings can be eased. Here you can find great honor in the use of your power. So is that her just laying it on thick? Because he's like, I know that they just kill men who can channel here.
Yeah. That's why he left.
That's a good question, Josh.
Right.
I don't know if we've heard anything official as far as how Shanshan does things. She seems to say, "Hey, we can use you," and he's like, "Nah, you'll just kill me. I know it."
I think he got that from either Lord Turok or Suroth in
the previous books.
In the Great Hunt, yeah. Or maybe Egwene talks about it, or like maybe
maybe one of them who was captured as a Damane.
Yeah. And then Egwene like relays that back to him or something. I'm 90% sure that they learned that in the Great Hunt. Right. Or he thinks he learns that at least. This is what he thinks.
Dana Lou, where's the Princess Bride reference?
Oh, I mentioned
Dread Pirate Robert.
Oh, Dread Pirate. Okay.
Asmodean can demonstrate.
Yeah.
It must be because it takes the amount of power. And Osmo is super limited. That's a very good point. That he does not have the ability to
Any longer.
some of the more complex,
Complicated.
weaves. Yeah.
Because because of the shield limiting his power.
Secret Squirrel wants to know if they open mouth, tongue kissed.
Who?
I don't think it's
Rand and Asmodean? I don't think they like each other like that.
Yeah, Rand and Asmodean. He's like, I missed you. Why can't I forget you?
Well, I missed you. Let me tongue fix your face.
They did the
Yeah, tongue
Mama
fix.
Tavian.
Tongue fix your face. I'm gonna tongue fix that face.
Wow.
That's happening.
Is there anything else we want to talk about the igloo sex? Them jumping back and forth. Anything else before we wrap up?
That scene sent chills through me.
It was the
Ba-doom.
most sexual shit, right?
Amanda made a man out of Rand.
That we've gotten so far out of these books. So I was highly frustrated up to this point, and now it's okay. It's kind of okay, but it's not okay because they need to have more vicious sex, I think.
Vicious?
I don't know, like more passionate,
Viscous?
visceral,
Viscous?
viscous, the viscous sex.
Do you think that Avienda and Rand are going to bone again?
I would count on it. I'm just.
Maybe-
I'm gonna roll my sixes here. And go,
Maybe not soon, but yes.
Six sixes. Yes, I think that Avienda and Ren might very well put it again.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna throw that out there as a not really well thought out prediction. Something I want to see. Hope to see.
Well, those are fine. I mean, not well thought out predictions are the norm here.
Yeah. Josh,
anything you wanted to bring up in
You're
this
gonna bone
chapter?
again?
What's
And
that?
the finger in the circle there.
You don't. Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
Well, that's where I stay on my island. Tom, can you
Well-
play it up? I'm sorry.
Let
Kidding. Kidding. Ah.
me pull up my background of human anatomy. Give me a sec.
All right. So next week we are covering chapters 33 through at least 35, maybe 36. I need to look.
Ooh.
But 34 seemed kind of long.
Yep.
So no, I don't know. I'll let you guys know. But it looks like 36 is kind of a little long too. So 49 and 4. Yeah, that's probably too long. We're probably not going to get through 4. Let's just say 3.
So
That's,
chapters.
48.
With all the banter we
48
do.
pages. I don't know.
You're shouting a lot of numbers, but which chapters are we reading?
33.
34, 35.
37, and we'll see if we
Yay.
can get through it. Let's try and do 4.
Yeah.
33, 34, 35, 36. We'll try and do those 4.
4
I'm not
chapters
counting-
next
I'm
week.
not-
Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah, you know. We still have.
We'll see if I
based
can-
on- we
Sorry.
still have like 20-something chapters left in this book. Based on like.
I can't wait. Honestly, I want to like plow through this book after these chapters. It felt like it was like the hump we had to get over, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, spicy, getting hot in here. Okay, yes, it did feel like the hump we had to get over, and then like move on to the rest of the freaking book because this is how much I have chocolate on it, but this is how much we have left, and this is how much we've read. More chocolate, anyways.
Tasty.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just-
chocolate books are fine in my book.
Chocolate covered
Well,
books are good books.
We'll see if I can make it next week. You know, I saw my seamstress, and she told me that I'm going through the changes.
You and your seamstress.
Not
Tom,
having hormone injections right
you
now.
stop talking about your seamstress for once,
All right.
Tom.
She said I was going through my feltapause.
The feltapause. What? The second feltapause.
Yep. my changes.
This is second.
coming.
These are good changes.
Yep.
Proud of you.
We'll see.
You stay strong.
So everyone, that has been us. We are.
Has it? Has it been?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
been us.
Wasn't
We have
sure.
the way to leave. Thank you for joining us. Every Tuesdays and Sundays we have shows. Tuesdays is our first time readal show with Josh and KayK. Thank you very much for joining us both. You guys are the fuel that drives our Model T. You are the rain that washes away our beach home.
The cheese on my cracker.
You are the cheese on Tom's cracker.
The cream in my Twinkie.
You guys are the best. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week for 3 or 4 chapters. Also, we have a show
Throw
on
the book
Sunday.
away till next week.
So yeah. So until next week, guys. Thank you for joining us. This has been great. This has been fun. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah, everyone.
You guys are
Bye,
amazing.
everybody.
Thank you all.
All right,
Thank
let's
you.
do the newlywed game. The everyone kiss.
Mwah.